watching Conference USA football on ESPN+. Tonight we kick off a brand new season from Aggie Memorial. It is year 2 of the Tony Sanchez era, and New Mexico State looks to win their opener in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 06-07. It's the Aggies and FCS Bryant in the first ever matchup between these two programs. Glad you're with us alongside the former Aggie defensive back Danny Nee. My name is Adam Young. Kelly Horizon joins us in a little bit from the sidelines. Well, partner, 55 newcomers for Tony Sanchez. What do you hope to see tonight and beyond this year?
Well, that's a task in itself, is getting 55 new helmets in there, right? 2 areas, Adam, is what I'm looking at. Quarterback, improved quarterback play. Last year we had 4 quarterbacks, never worked out. We have one, we've anointed one. Let's see what Logan Fife can do. I think he can get a job done. The second is reduce big plays in the defense. That was our Achilles heels last year, and we got to get better at it.
Aggies will open the season with back-to-back home games this year for the second straight year. Meanwhile, Bryant playing back-to-back games to start the year against FBS opponents. Well, Danny, you've had a while to think about it. Knees Keys presented by the Southwest Chevy dealers.
Hey, we talked about a little bit about this in the open. Consistent QB play. Logan comes in. He learned the new offense. He's got to be steady. He doesn't have to do anything flashy. He just needs to go in there and manage the game. We put some good running backs and receiver core around him. He's got to use all of those things and just manage the game. Nothing flashy. The other is offensive line. It's time to shine. You know, a lot to be said about bringing guys in and moving them around. Now it comes down to you got to perform. It's a new group. They got to go back to the basics. Just do your assignments, but we need you to shine and really help protect Logan. The next is big plays in the secondary. Gosh, we had so many last year that just got past us. Let's see if we can't reduce those and get those under control, and then we'll look to win more games by doing that. Those are the keys, Adam.
Bryant lost their final 7 games a year ago. They went 2-10 last year. New Mexico State 3-9. But you go back to the early portion a year ago, New Mexico State beat SEMO, which turned out to have a great season. And they let one slip away in week 2 against Liberty. Could have easily started 2-0. Right now, they're just trying to start 1-0 this year and kick off the Tony Sanchez second year on a high note. A lot of newcomers that we'll talk about during the course of tonight. Dijon Stanley, transfer from Utah, is back deep to return the kick from Bryce Solie for Bryant. Bulldogs made the long trip from Smithfield, Rhode Island, nearly 2,400 miles away from home. Let's roll in 2025. We are underway from Aggie Memorial Stadium. And New Mexico State will have a return. This is Kadarius Calloway, who returns it out near the 20-yard line. Kelly Horizon is the 3rd member of our crew this year, and we say hello to her for the first time tonight. Hi, Kelly.
Hey guys, so excited to be joining you here for this 2025 season. As you mentioned, this season marking head coach Tony Sanchez's second year at the helm. In year 1, we saw him lead the Aggies to a 3-9 overall record, and that is what they look to build upon starting here tonight against Bryant. And the odds are in their favor as they are the 19.5-point favorites going into tonight. Not to mention, when you look at its record going up against FCS opponents, they are 9-1. So overall, this team looking pretty good to start the year.
Good stuff. Thank you, Kelly. Quarterback this year is Logan Fife. Danny, they named him the starter right when he came to campus, so he's been the guy from day one. We're excited to watch him here tonight.
Yeah, and he's had this calm composure about him, and he just managed to bring it all together, and everyone believes in him. He's one of the captains, so they're behind him. He just has to get out there and manage the game and not do anything flashy, take care of the ball, no turnovers, just make it nice and easy.
No gain on the first play. Running back here is Dijon Stanley, transfer from Utah. 5 to throw. That is incomplete. Pinballs around, intended for TJ Pride, who a year ago was the top receiver as a freshman. 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, a couple quick plays right there. You know, that offensive line is key to Logan's play. We talked a little bit about it in the open, saying one of the keys, but that line really has to give him time and really open some holes in there for the running back. Got 2 good running backs, and we'll talk more about them as the year goes on and as this game goes on. They got to get the holes in there for him.
3 key receivers back from a year ago, P.J. Johnson, Donovan Fappel, and then the aforementioned T.J. Pride, and that is out of the reach of P.J. Johnson, who had a good year a year ago. So A slow start for the Aggie offense. And Danny, we talk about this in camp and in practice. It also typically goes this way in the first game or two. Usually the defenses are ahead of the offense.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I think if you look at college football as a whole, as you may have watched some today and a couple in the last week as well, but it's the defense that comes back and it gels before the offense. So that's not unusual at all.
Max Dean, the punter, he's from Australia, second year in the program, first year as a starter, and this is a boomer. Fair catch is called for right around the 30 by Jace Hannigan for Bryant. Bryant Bulldogs offense coming out for the first time this season. They only averaged 21 points per game last season. How about that 51-yard boot by Max Dean in his first punt as an Aggie? That looked pretty good, Danny.
Yeah, that looked really good. Flipped that field in a hurry, didn't they?
Brennan Meyer is the quarterback for the Bulldogs. Meyer a year ago, 7 games, 4 starts, so he was not the full-time starter. He is only a sophomore. He's out of Frisco. 12 touchdown passes for Bryant a year ago, 8 picks, threw for nearly 1,200 yards. He is not a runner. But he will hand it off to his running back. That is Elijah Elliott, a transfer from Montana State. This running back unit has the chance to be pretty good this year for Bryant.
Yeah, I think that other improved area is our defensive line up front there. You know, we've talked to Coach Morris before coming into this game. He's very big on the front four, and if that front four, of course, you win that battle in the trenches, you're going to do well, and it's going to really help you out in the secondary.
The helmet came off for Gabe Peterson, the Jack linebacker, so Peterson has to go off for a play. Good to have Gabe back in the program after he played for Utah State a year ago. Bad snap. Sonny Alpiu chasing the quarterback. And that pass intended for wide receiver Aldrich Doe is incomplete. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you mentioned Gabe Peterson coming back. He of course, was here in the 22-23 season. He put some lofty goals on himself. But, you know, he is a guy that they really need to lean on there to really get a few more sacks this year. So let's see if he can't help out.
Second-year defensive coordinator Joe Morris feels like Gabe can be one of the best pass rushers this year in Conference USA. 4 out wide on a 3rd down. Elijah Elliott in motion. He will take the handoff, nowhere to go. He's wrapped up right away. That tackle made by Ezra Christensen. He's one of those newcomers, Danny. He transferred in from Fresno State.
Yeah, Coach Sanchez, when I was speaking with him, said, let's not forget about Ezra because he's going to help us out a great deal. And you can see right there, he sheds his block, get the extension from there, get that blocker off you and go right to the ball. Really helped out.
Player down right now for Bryant. That is their starting left tackle, Marcus Williams, who's had a well-traveled career. He was at TCU for a while when Tony Sanchez was on the staff at TCU. So Tony knows Marcus Williams. He's in his 7th year collegiately, his 2nd year at Bryant. He is 6'7", 340 on the left side of that offensive line. And you hate to see this. The first couple minutes of the season, Williams down.
Right, and that Bryant front line is large. You talked about the 6'7", 340. They go left guard 6'5", 300, 6'5", 300 at center, 6'4", 312 at guard, and 6'6", 300. That's a beefy front offensive line.
Danny, they average 6'4", 310 on their offensive line 2 deep. That is not your typical FCS offensive line. Let's see what happened here with Williams. He got tangled up right there, right on the tackle.
I think they rolled up on his ankle,
Yeah.
and I think that's what happens. If you look in the middle of your screen, what you'll see is that if you're on a defensive guy and you're blocking him, you don't see, of course, the running back coming from behind. And if he's tackled, they usually roll. And so what happens, they say, oh, he rolled up on his ankle. That's because he's in front trying to hold his block, and they roll on his ankle, and he doesn't see it coming. And that's just what happened right there. Good to see him up, though.
Behind Williams on the 2 deep for Bryant at left tackle is Nicholas Molina, who started 12 games last year on the offensive line for Bryant, so we could see him in there at left tackle if Williams can't return right away. Bryant will have to punt as well. Christian Caroglan is their punter. TJ Pride is back deep to receive. He returned 6 punts last season with a long of 17. It was one of those freshman years last year for TJ where there wasn't much he didn't do. Had a heck of a freshman year last year. Caroglan will get it away. And it takes an Aggie bounce as it back spins right around the 35-yard line. Some extracurriculars after the play, and we have a flag at midfield. Brad Carroll is a referee tonight.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 13, 15-yard penalty, first down, New Mexico State, timeout on the field.
Is our Quincy Davis on special teams. Aggie football when we come back. Welcome back. College football is back in 2025. Nearly 2 minutes in, we are back with you from Aggie Memorial Stadium, quarter number 1. Great atmosphere here on opening night. Beasley Mitchell and Company, certified public accountants, are proud supporters of the Aggies. Bookkeeping, auditing, tax and estate planning, and more. Let the experts at Beasley Mitchell and Company tackle your taxes. Drive number 2 for Logan 5. Danny, what do you want to see right here?
Well, we want to see him get a little more progress, a little more rhythm in passing. It looks like one we could have maybe had, but he's got to get comfortable in the offense, and him and Coach Yost have to get things together and just get a rhythm between the two.
Motion man is wide receiver Sean Brown, one of those 55 newcomers. Fife will pull it, trying to duck around a defender. He can run a little bit. How about that Houdini act, and that might be a late hit. That was awfully close in the Aggie sideline area. I don't know how he got away from that defender.
I don't either, Adam. And you know, I have down on my card, he's a dual threat. He's going to be a dual threat, but we haven't seen too much of it. Here's the dual threat, though. He actually ducked underneath that and had enough moxie to put his hand down and get upfield and pick up a couple yards. That's pretty good, much a dual threat.
Should have been a loss on the play. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. P.J. Johnson in motion. Running back here is Kadarius Callaway. Started his career as a safety at Alabama. Running back at California Berkeley most recently. Danny, he's 6 foot, almost 215. He can be alone.
He can. And, you know, in talking with Coach Cobb, the running backs coach, he is a good receiver. We have two good receivers with speed back there that we'll see both Dijon and Kadarius back there. With that threat, that makes it very hard. The nice thing about that last play, Adam, I saw the offensive line really create some progress, some push in there, and really open it up just so he can get through there.
3rd and a long 3. Johnson in motion again. Callaway stays in at running back. Let's see the play call here from David Yost, the new OC. Downfield, caught. Donovan Fapel. Nice call, David Yost. Inside the 30.
That was great in terms of composure from the quarterback. Logan just stood in the pocket. He was calm. He was collect. He was wide open. And the easiest thing to do is overthrow this ball. Instead, he lays it right out in front of him. Great catch, great pitch, great catch. Offensive line doing their job. Created time for him to make that great pass. Look at him back there, how relaxed he looks. That just feels really good. Donovan, great catch.
54-yard connection. Tony Sanchez is bullish on the year that Donovan Fapel could have this year. Had some dental work done during the season last year, missed a bunch of time. Caught some big passes down the stretch as a true freshman 2 years ago. Junior out of Riverside. 1st down and 10. Sling toss to Sean Brown. That is dropped. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Bryant thought maybe it was a fumble on a backward pass, but it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
And kudos to Bryant on that. They saw that, read it the whole time, and came screaming up as soon as he squared his shoulders, and it was a quick toss out to the outside, so you'll see it right here. Quick fake, nice toss. Nothing given right there. He was all over him.
2 tight end set coming up. Both Adam Parks and Gavin Harris currently in the game. Harris lined up as a receiver, slot left. Parks on the right side of the formation. Running back is Callaway. Johnson and Fapel, a wide receiver right now. Fife will hand it off to Callaway. He's clipped right away and taken down.
I think he was a little anxious right there, and he saw some green off to the right and just kind of got tripped up in all of the stuff in the middle there. He did fill it out there, a little anxious, but he's going to break one of those, and I can't wait to see those wheels when he does.
Sean Hunt was the first one to get to him. 3rd and 8. The big 54-yard reception by Fapel on this drive on 3rd down. Logan Fife playing in his 39th career game. First time he's entered this season, though, as a starter. Transfer from Fresno State in Montana. Back to throw on 3rd down. Flag down. Caught by Gavin Harris. But they blew the play dead. It's going to be a false start on the Aggie offense.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's too bad because he read that Logan Fife perfectly. And you'll see, and maybe the defense let up, so he can't really tell, but you'll see him right here. He sees the guy, he knows he's open, and he just lets it rip. Nice ball. He's throwing a very nice ball out there.
That penalty was on B.J. Tolo, who is the only starting offensive lineman back from a season ago. He's at right guard, redshirt sophomore from Santa Ana, California. Aggies need the 11. Fife will throw again. Caught. Touchdown. P.J. Johnson. Thread the needle. Logan Fife.
Adam, you got, I know you were looking at it too, and I was just thinking, oh, here it comes. It's a scissors. There's like right between two guys. Can he get it in there? You'll see it right here. Nice time back there. Look at the confidence. And if you look downfield, there's two guys. He has to get it through, and he scissors it right between both of them. Lights up PJ. Great confidence. Look at that ball. Nice spiral. Good catch right there as well. That's a great start right there.
Point after coming up from Valparaiso transfer, Ryan Hawk. Grad transfer from Columbus, Ohio. Second team all-conference kicker last season in the Pioneer Football League. Holder is the punter, Max Dean. Long snapper, a newcomer as well, that's Grayson Curtis, and the kick is blocked, so the Aggies only get 6. But they get 6 on the 4th career touchdown catch for P.J. Johnson. His 34th career catch overall, 5th year in the program, 28th career game. He puts the Aggies in the end zone here in the opener.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder.
Here's to the unseen late nights, learning curves, and your perseverance. The behind the scenes is where the magic happens. It's where you shape your process and where you don't let anything hold you back. GECU is there to support you through it all with the products and services that you trust, so you can focus on making your own path. Become a member online now at GECU.com.
75 years ago, a foundation was laid, not of brick alone, but of belief that every patient matters. We've grown with our city through generations of hands held, hearts mended, and lives changed. This is Memorial Medical Center, built to serve, driven to heal. Here for 75 years, here for what's next.
24-yard touchdown catch on a third down play for P.J. Johnson. Puts New Mexico State ahead 6-0. 10:02 left here in quarter one. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Hoare in with us. Let's send it down to Kelly.
Yeah, Adam, I mean, we're already seeing pretty impressive things out of New Mexico State's new QB1, Logan Fife. He was a massive pickup this offseason. He brings in veteran experience to the position, which was a rotating door last season. He previously played at Fresno State, most recently playing at Montana, where he led the Grizz to the second round of FCS playoffs last season. So he came in this spring and was named QB1 way back then, which allowed him to get comfortable in this position. It also allowed him to take on a leadership role, earning 1 of 6 captain spots this season, but he also takes on a new title as of late, which is going to be dad. Him and his fiance Lauren welcoming in a baby girl just 3 weeks ago, so a lot on this quarterback's plate to start this season, but head coach Tony Sanchez saying he is handling all duties quite well.
That's pretty impressive right there.
Isn't it?
And you know that, Adam, right? Because you have a little one, and so he may be going to bed right now. Hopefully he's catching you right now, but juggling all those things and being able to come out here, great job.
Congrats to Logan and his fiancee, their daughter Paisley, born on August 12th. Now, he was missing one day from camp, and I think everybody who wasn't in the know kind of knew why. We thought that his fiancee was probably in labor, and his daughter born a couple weeks before the season opener.
Now it's time for the defense. Let's see them stand up and get measured here. I saw Tyler Martinez on that last tackle in there come screaming downhill. It's good to have Tyler back. He's the heart and soul of that defense. Let's see if he can't keep him running.
96 tackles for Martinez a year ago. Cole Schnetkoke gets to the quarterback. That pass is incomplete. Nick Session almost got to it in the secondary. The pass rush was there with Schnetkoke. Danny?
Schnetkoke, I've been waiting to say that. 2 games last year he played and they got hurt. He's the guy. He's come back. He's one of the captains. They were, able to select some, and they selected him defensively, and he gets lots of pressure, which helps the secondary back there when you're putting pressure on the quarterback.
New Mexico State lost a couple of key pieces after the spring portal window. A couple guys went to Washington State, but they filled in those spots nicely, and the returners have really stepped up. Play is blown down. We'll get another flag. This will be a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That is Nicholas Molina, who is now at left tackle. He's in for Marcus Williams, who was injured on the first drive for Bryant. So Molina penalized on the left side right here. Molina started all 12 games last season on the offensive line, senior from the Bronx in New York. Line to gain is the 35 for Bryant. Brennan Meyer, the quarterback, pumps, fires, had a man, and it is caught on the far sideline. Nice touch by Meyer all the way up to the 48-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, with good coverage there. We're on him, and you'll see the DB come in here right at the last second and try to punch the ball out from underneath. You'll see the arm come up underneath from the defender there, but not enough, and he held on to it. That was a good catch right there.
Tristan Riley with a catch up to the 43. Gain of 21 of the play. Running back right now is Furman transfer Grant Robinson. Played 3 years in the Furman program. And he receives the handoff, and he's met right away. He is stuck by Martinez. Tyler's going to wreak some havoc this year.
He is, and he is ready to go. And you know, talking to Coach Morris, he talks about having the defense really stand up and be measured. It gets measured by guys like Tyler Martinez. He says, you know what, sometimes it's him that does all the coaching and not me. He's the heart and soul of that defense. He saw that opening and stepped into that quickly.
Gain of only 1. Martinez said individually this year his goal is to be the Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year. That pass is batted away on the line. That was Christensen. Ezra Christensen making some early plays. The transfer from Fresno State who played with Logan Fife a couple years ago.
That's a big guy right there. Lots of pressure. Coach Sanchez very big on Ezra. As we were talking with him, he said, "Now let's not go over him too quick now. And he's going to be able to help us out." And we see him already helping out.
Shinat making some early plays. You also have Ta'avili Tuitama, a newcomer on that defensive line, along with Gabe Peterson and a host of others. Third down for the Bulldogs. Roll out from Meyer. Throws it across the middle, and another tumbling catch is made. Tristan Riley with 2 big receptions on this drive.
You know, that's a great pass and a great catch, because you see the pressure that we're still putting on them. It could have been Tyler Martinez putting on the pressure there, but still able to make the catch. We got to tighten up just a little bit in the secondary, because I think we're playing back a little far and we're giving them a lot of room. So we're closing, but we're closing just a half a step short.
That reception for Riley goes for 11 and a Bryant first down. Quick strike on the near side to Doe. His 23rd career catch at Bryant on a Mays Landing in New Jersey. That'll move the sticks.
Yeah, another quick toss right here. So lots of pressure coming, and so they know it, and it's out of his hands immediately. We're playing back a little bit. Takes that easy 5, 6, 7-yard catch.
That catch goes for a dozen. Handoff goes to the running back right side, Grant Robinson. So we've seen Elijah Elliott and Grant Robinson so far in the backfield for the Bulldogs.
I think Bryant is starting to see that, you know, we're going to give them pressure. So lots of pressure up there. So when they throw the ball, this is a run clearly, but shut that down. You still have to run the ball to have New Mexico State stay packed in the middle there. But you'll see throwing the ball, it's like 1, 2, boom, ball out. And so they're trying to get it out as fast as possible. Because if you look at the defense alignment, you'll see that we're playing a little bit back. Coach is running kind of a 4-2-5-ish defense, and it's a little bit cushy.
Give is to Elliott, straight up the gut. Helmet flies off. That is the helmet of Ta'avili Tuitama. The American Samoa native will have to go off for a play. Third down coming up for Bryant. They've been successful on a third down so far in this drive. Bryant 2 for 3 on a third down here tonight. They scrimmage from the 29 on a 3rd and 6. The sophomore, Brennan Meyer, escapes. He's going to tuck it in and run. Has a first down and more as he slides up near the 15-yard line.
Now, I know he's not supposed to be a runner, but here's what's happening. If we have 4 guys rushing and you drop everyone out in a shell to say, let's keep the ball in front of us, there's no one spying the quarterback. And when they come back and there's no one between the line of scrimmage and 5 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, he has to take that. And so even if he's not a big runner, we're giving him that. So now they got to start making some decisions on, well, what are they going to do? They're going to have to spy him.
They mark it where he started his slide. He started his slide at the 19, so that's where they scrimmage from. Elliott trying to navigate through a hole, and Elliott crawls his way up to the 14.5-yard line, picks up a handful to bring up second down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that front line is doing a great job up there, plugging up all the holes, and they're all over that thing. Not a lot happening there, but still getting, 3-4 yards of rush right there. This is a good drive for Bryant, and it kind of puts the Aggies on notice. It says, yeah, you came down and scored quick, but we're not going away. We will be here.
Fifth career start at quarterback for Frisco native Brennan Meyer. Under pressure from Peterson, and he throws it low, but that was complete. Nice catch off the edge of the turf right there by Carter Newman, the redshirt senior tight end.
I'm not sure how he got the ball out here, so he's rolling to his left, and he has to turn it square. That's a tough throw right there, but you can kind of see the defense is just a little too much cushion in there. So tough throw, great catch right there.
Now there is a flag down on the far side of the field on the outside numbers. That's Bryant head coach Chris Merritt, who's trying to figure out what's going on in the penalty. The officials discussing. Brad Carroll is our referee tonight.
Number 13 was covered up. Therefore, we have a legal touching offense, number 13. That penalty is 5 yards and a loss of down. Third down.
Wow. Well, that's big. And that is on Newman, the tight end. And that changes the whole complexion of this current drive for Bryant. Their second penalty here in the first quarter. Normally you see illegal touching on a punt.
Right. Maybe that's why he was able to sneak out of the coverage as easy as he was.
A scrimmage from the 20. Third down for Bryant. It would have been first and goal without the penalty. 4 out wide for Brennan Meyer, the quarterback. Aggies bring some heat, and they smother him. Jamal Thompson Jr., the transfer from Samford.
Lots of pressure there. Nothing they could do. Look at the defensive line. You'll see it right there. Look at the push. They gave up 3 or 4 yards easy, and it's like get rid of the offensive guy. You extend as fast as possible and get right to the quarterback, and Jamal is excited.
Five-yard loss on the sack. So earlier in this drive, it was more than good field goal range for Bryce Solie. And now this is going to be a 43-yard attempt. Career long is 41 for Solie, so this would be a new career long. Connected on 10 of 14 field goals for Bryant a year ago. And this has been a good drive for Bryant, but it could leave without points unless Solie knocks through a new career long. Officials are discussing something right now, right around the near hash. Might be a clock issue. Right now the clock reads 4:40.
Now, when we think about that drive, those drives in there, they're breaking. There they go. They're breaking their huddle.
Here's Brad Carroll. Okay, so the clock was way off, and it was a clock issue. So 4:15 instead of 4:40. 43-yarder coming up for Solie. Good snap, good hold, And the kick is good, so Bryant does get points. And they probably deserve points on that drive. Brennan Meyer orchestrated it. Bryce Solie finishes it 6-3 late in quarter one. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Horizon back with you from Aggie Memorial Stadium. 6-3 Aggies here in the season opener. First ever matchup between New Mexico State and FCS Bryant. It's that exciting time of year with lots of big games to enjoy. It's also the time of the year when drunk driving crashes and fatalities increase. You can end DWI by designating a driver, or you can arrange a safe ride home for someone who needs it. Stay in the game and designate a driver. Together we can end DWI. Bryant about to kick off to New Mexico State with Callaway and Stanley, a pair of running backs back deep. The kick from Solie. Returnable for Stanley. The return kicks the last 2 years at Utah. Dijon Stanley with a flag down around the 35, gets into Bryant territory. But this one could be coming back.
What a return, great return. Penalties kill you every time. But let's look at that. From the end zone, Coach must give him the green light. Says if you're feeling it, you go for it. Great return right there on the left side of your screen. You see the flag come in, that's what it is.
Holding, receiving team, number 9, 10-yard penalty, first down, New Mexico State.
That's on Burnock Aya, so 2 penalties now are in special teams for New Mexico State. And they're showing off their depth in the return game. The Aggies don't have TK King available tonight. He's unavailable. King is one of the best return men around the country. You have Stanley, who returned kicks at Utah, and now Callaway, who returned kicks at the end of last year at California Berkeley. They're going to run 1 or 2 back this year. Danny, you can book that.
Yeah, I think you've called that one early on, and I can't disagree with you. I think they're going to be, it's going to be a threat, and what a great job that it really sets your offense. Now the penalty kills us, but look at his return; it brought you out to midfield.
New Mexico State has only had 1 kick or punt return touchdown since 2019, and that came during the COVID season in 2020. Stanley will stay in. He's the running back alongside Logan Five, who has thrown for 79 yards in quarter one, including a 54-yarder to Donovan Fapel. Stanley picking up right where he left off on the return. as he scoots up to the 15-yard line for a gain of 5 yards.
It's great blocking up front. That really helps out a great deal. You block down, you push out on the end, and you create a little crease in there that gives him enough room to just stick his nose in there and get him off to the races.
2nd and 5 for Logan Fife in his 39th career game. First game as an Aggie out of Tracy, California. Fife looking for a free play. He won't get it. And this is going to be a penalty on Bryant.
Offside. Defense, number 1. Unabated to the quarterback.
I think everybody in the stadium knew who that was on.
Right.
Azarel Juice, the nickelback, sophomore from Columbus, Georgia.
I like that Logan Fife knows where he is. He's present in the game to know, look, there's a penalty. It may not have stopped the play. It should stop the play. It did. But just in case, I'm going to throw one downfield because it may not matter.
Aaron Rodgers has been notorious for that during his NFL career. Low snap to Fife. Airs it out downfield, and it's caught. Caught at the 40. TJ Pride had a heck of a freshman year last year with 34 receptions. Hauls that one in for 23.
Yeah, TJ Pride wide open there. The hardest thing to do is not miss that ball. You'll see it at the top of your screen up there. He's just wide open. You can't miss that throw, and he doesn't.
Logan Fife already above 100 yards passing. We are still in the first quarter. Tony Sanchez talked about it the entire offseason, how big of an upgrade Fife would be at quarterback, and he's been that so far.
Previous play is under further review of the ruling of the catch.
Probably trying to see if TJ Pride was in bounds on that far sideline, Danny, because he was right around that area.
Right. Now, I didn't see a official throw the hat. Now, I don't know if he stepped out of bounds. I don't know if they're looking if he was out and came in or what they're trying to look at right there, but they're going to take a peek at it right there. And you'll see it at the top of your screen, but look at the composure that Logan has in there. Throws the ball.
Seemed like he was in bounds. And that's the call on the field. Looks good to me. Not sure why that would be under review. By the way, this year with Conference USA, there is collaborative instant replay review. The coordinator of officials, Mike Deffey, and his staff will oversee all replay reviews in Pittsburgh at the headquarters, and they're working in collaboration with the on-site replay official to make the ruling. So that's a change this year in Conference USA.
I think what they're looking at is that his toes were up, but his heel may not have been
After
down.
review, the ruling of the catch is upheld. However, the runner did step out of bounds at the 40-yard line. The ball will be placed there. It'll be first down, New Mexico State.
Minor adjustment, but still a catch. And you notice, too, right there, Brad Carroll's set upheld. Instead of confirmed and stands, officials will use the word upheld this year as well. Just minor changes, not a big year of rule changes around collegiate football. Lucas Unger, the tight end, transfer from Stanford in motion. He's number 89 in crimson. A dart near side, first catch as an Aggie for Jackson Owens. You're going to hear that name a lot. Out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, at his 4th different school.
Yeah, when I was speaking with coaches, he talks about the receiving core and what an upgrade it is, and tries to mention everyone. Here's Jackson Owens. You talked about this with me before the game. This says we're going to see a lot of this guy, and we're going to be impressed by him.
High snap for 5, so not much the Aggies could do with it, and stonewalled right away is the running back, Dijon Stanley. There is a new center this year. Kai Wheeler, the starting center, takes over for Kanan Yarrow, who was a 3-year starter in that position in this program.
You know, those are the things you don't think about too much. It's like, well, the ball automatically gets to the right spot every single time. No, that's a big change, and so having a new center makes a difference.
Wheeler has a bright future. Only a redshirt sophomore. He's from Salt Lake City. Empty backfield. He will snap the ball to Logan Fife. Good snap there. Sidearm toss. Complete to Donovan Fappel. His 2nd catch so far in the first quarter. 90 seconds left in this opening quarter for the Aggie offense.
I like that Logan Fife is back there surveying the field at him, and he'll see the guys that are coming open, and he can just have a sense of it, and he's nice and calm. In that case, he had to get the ball out quickly, a little sidearm right there, and pick up those yards just nice and pitch and catch.
The Aggies were 39% on third down a year ago. They're 2 for 3 so far tonight. Converted a couple of big third downs on the previous drive, including the touchdown catch by Johnson. Good throw by Fife, but it's going to be short. Only gets to the 40. First catch for new tight end Gavin Harris, a transfer from Central Michigan. This is kind of no man's land here for the offense. Would you go for it here, Danny?
I think I would. I think I'd leave him out there, and I think he's going to. And that last play, lots of pressure on Fife, and he was able to get the ball out quickly. He felt it. Great catch by Gavin. Welcome to the program.
4th and short. Fife will lob it far side, overthrown. Owens the intended receiver, but I think he was held early on. There's a flag on the far sideline at the 40.
Offside. Defense, number 17. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
That's Michael Grant, the senior out of Hackensack in New Jersey, penalized for Bryant, and that gives the Aggies a first down. Logan Fife, calm, cool, collected, poised quarterback. Fresh set of downs here with 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Bunch formation. Fife looking right, throws it right. Hooks up again with Donovan Fappel. Third catch in the opening quarter for Fappel. That's another first down.
I think he's back there. Logan Fife is just taking whatever they give you. He surveys the field and see what the defense is doing. They're playing a little soft, and so he just takes that little out pattern and just gives it to him. It's like, if that's you're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. Great composure back there.
And New Mexico State will not get a play away before the end of the opening quarter. How about Donovan Fappel? 11 career catches coming in. He has 3 through 15 minutes of play in year 3 in the program. Quarter 2 comes up next. Aggie offense driving as we get ready to start the second quarter. Touchdown catch in quarter one for P.J. Johnson. A really good first quarter for Logan Fife and his wide receivers. Logan throws for 132, and Danny, he's spreading it around really well so far in the first 15 minutes.
And you know, when I was speaking with Coach Yost about him, he said he's just got that it. And I said, how do you measure him? And he said, you just kind of feel and like, this kid's got it.
Fife, the quarterback, hands it off to the running back, Dijon Stanley, who is stuck right away. And his linebacker, Lonnie Rice, a former Western Kentucky Hilltopper, on the stop. By the way, the Aggies are missing two of their best wide receivers. Two starters unavailable tonight at wide receiver, A.J. Williams and T.K. King. So the depth is on full display with a bunch of guys making plays. Most notably, Fapel and P.J. Johnson right now. Stanley still the running back. Two out wide to the left, and now Gavin Harris will join those two left side. Tunnel screen, caught. That is P.J. Johnson, his second catch. And we're going to see third down again, and so far New Mexico State's been pretty efficient on third down tonight.
Yeah, that last tunnel screen we saw right here just didn't look like it got set up correctly, and just everyone was bleeding all over. I think it gets back to the comment you had earlier, Adam, where you said the offense takes a little longer than the defense to gel. And we've seen some great passes, but we need to see more spreading the ball out, doing things like tunnel screens. That's got to be part of your repertoire that you come out with.
Logan Fife, 8 for 11 so far through the year. That's Johnson in motion on 3rd and 9. Fife's throw is too high, incomplete, intended for his tight end, Gavin Harris. So now we're going to see the kick-in unit. First time for a field goal attempt for Ryan Hawk, who has a great leg. Was a late addition during the offseason. Won the job during preseason fall practice. Had a really good preseason. This one from 42. Max Dean, the punter, is the holder. Hawk's kick is away, and it is true. Well, he has big shoes to fill, right? Abraham Montaño last year, Danny, booted a school record 59-yarder.
Oh, he did, but that boot right there, that had plenty of juice behind it, Adam. That was a great kick right there.
It was a good battle in preseason practice. It's not just Ryan Hawk for head coach Tony Sanchez. They have a couple other guys who were in the mix. David Barker, another. Kaya Francone, who's only a freshman, heralded recruit. Going back to that bowl game in 2017, Danny, this program has consistently had really good kickers. Dylan Brown back then. Ethan Albertson a couple of years ago was the Conference USA Special Teams Player of the Year. And then Montaño a year ago was as good as they come. I mean, he went 57 one week, 59 another week, and he was very consistent.
Yeah, I think in college football, that's what you need anymore. You'll see more and more kickers keeping you in the game, and as long as we have one of those to say, yes, we're going to stay in the game, we have a kicker as well, sounds like we do, looks like we do, then I think we're going to be more competitive in that area.
Ryan Hawk handles the kickoff duties as well. And he will boot it through the end zone. So a touchback out to the 25 for Bryant. And their offense, Danny, had a really good drive. It kind of stalled late with the field goal, but they had a really good drive in their most recent series on offense.
Yeah, I think Coach Morris has got to go back and think about what they're going to do from a defensive coverage standpoint, because we certainly were giving up way too many yardage, stopping the run just fine, other than the broken scramble where we didn't have anyone spying the quarterback. But if you sit back, I think they've Bryant has showed that they're willing to throw the ball and take what you give them, and that's 15, 20 yards down the field at a time.
Brennan Meyer, the quarterback, 3 for 6 for 44 yards in that first quarter after a very slow start. He pulls it and throws it here to his tight end, and a nice open field tackle is made there by Bernak Aya, the nickelback for New Mexico State.
Yeah, Bernak comes in there quick, and you'll see that right on the bottom of your screen. He gets rid of his block and comes screaming in there to blow the legs out from underneath there. He saw the whole time. It's important, though, that you not only see it, but you have to get rid of your block and then go make a play. That's a great job.
Defensive coordinator Joe Morris calls Aya a swing guy. He can play nickel or the boundary safety. First carry today for the top running back a year ago for Bryant, Dylan Kedzior, and he goes nowhere. Wiggling his finger right there is 35 in crimson, Tyler Martinez.
I think Tyler's going to be a wrecking ball in the middle this year. I think he has enough experience now, Adam, where he understands the defense. He knows where he needs to be and what he has to do. I think he's going to do a great job. Sone as well, being the Mike, having those two guys back, very important.
Bulldogs need the 35-yard line. They're 3 for 5 on third down tonight. Pocket collapsing. Meyer escapes, trying to plant and throw. Now he's going to run it. He's blasted by Thompson, shy of the first down yardage needed by about 1.5 yards.
Tyler Martinez came on a delayed blitz. He got caught in the middle. He spun off a guy, almost had the quarterback, came back again, almost had him again, and just couldn't quite run him down. And you'll see Tyler Martinez come in right in the middle of your screen. He gets stuck there. He's like, oh, I have him. No, I got blown out. Now I got him. I'm on him. Sneaks right by him right there. Great hustle by Tyler Martinez. That hustle is really going to mean a lot for the Aggies because it makes the downfield pressure. It's harder to go find a guy when you're scrambling for your life.
Bryant will punt. Christian Caroglan, transfer from St. Thomas, is the punter. The first timeout called by Bryant.
Timeout, Bryant, their first of the half.
And that's tough to have to burn a timeout in this scenario where you're punting the football. I don't think they're going to talk about it, Danny. I can't imagine where the football currently is that they're going to think about going for it here on 4th and 1.
I would be a little surprised if they did as well.
I think this is a situation where maybe guys were late to get out there. The alignment was off, but whatever the case was, Chris Merritt wanted to call a timeout to talk about it. Yeah, they're not even thinking about going for it. They're going to punt it, but they had to use a timeout to get it away. Last year, Southeast Missouri State against Tony Sanchez in New Mexico State operated a very successful fake punt. Tony showed his guys that footage leading up to this. He reminded them to make sure it doesn't happen again. TJ Pride is back deep. Punt is away to Pride. He's going to back up. He's not going to touch it. And Bryant will touch it a little bit sooner than they wanted to as it touches the knee of one of their men on special teams right around the 20. So we're going to see Logan Fife once again. Quite the start for the Tracy, California native. 8 for 12 for 132. He and the Aggie offense will look to extend the lead when we come back.
For decades, Nusenda Credit Union has been here for you and for our communities. Through Earn Your Return and community rewards, you're earning cash back or supporting programs that will make a difference for generations to come. Whether your dream is big or small, we've got you. Good for you, good for our community.
At Aprendamos Family of Services, we're building a brighter future one family at a time. From early intervention and therapy services to educational support and family counseling, we are here to guide your journey every step of the way. With a compassionate team of professionals and innovative programs, we're dedicated to helping children and families thrive in southern New Mexico. Learn more by calling 575-526-6682 or visiting AITkids.com.
Here's to the unseen late nights, learning curves, and your perseverance. The behind the scenes is where the magic happens. It's where you shape your process and where you don't let anything hold you back. GECU is there to support you through it all with the products and services that you trust so you can focus on making your own path. Become a member online now at GECU.com.
If 50 years ago, the Muscalera Pecha tribe introduced the world to a new destination, Inn of the Mountain Gods. What began as a small hotel has evolved into New Mexico's premier mountain resort. To all those who have supported our tribe through the years, we thank you and welcome you to celebrate the 50th anniversary with us. Hashlatine Bagotli, Hashlatine Benagotla. Yeah.
The legend, Fred Young, former Aggie great, former NFL great as well, honored during the recent media timeout. One of your former teammates as well, Danny Nee.
And he's just a great guy and just a fantastic athlete. Played 2 years with him, and he just dominated. He caught everything. He could make tackles. He's the only guy I saw catch a ball in the middle, and just one pop. Just pops it up, boom, catches the ball. What a stud.
A linebacker who returned kicks, correct?
Yes.
Crazy. Jet sweep handoff to P.J. Johnson. And there's nowhere to go with it. Aggies will do that with a couple of different wide receivers. Good consistency for the offense so far tonight. A little bit of a rocky start, 3 and out to start. But since then, the offense has looked sharp. Loss of 3 on that recent sweep play. Running back is Callaway, the transfer from California, Berkeley. 5 back to throw on second down, and it's incomplete near midfield. He was looking for P.J. Johnson, but the timing wasn't there on that route.
And I think he had Kadarius right over the middle there. Came through a little fake out of the backfield right over the middle. He was wide open too. That would have been a good one to check down and get the ball out. You'll see on top lots of coverage up there. Lots of guys around. Right towards the middle right there, you'll see number 1. He was wide open.
Completion percentage of 64% at Montana a year ago for Logan Fife. That was good for 33rd in the country at the FCS level. 3rd and a bunch. Fife has some time, gets rid of it, and it's broken up. Lucas Unger, the intended receiver, the tight end who transferred in this year from Stanford.
I couldn't tell if he got his hands on that or not. It was lots of time back there to look at the field, but everyone was covered. Everyone had pretty much covered, and he just kind of threaded that in there, trying to get it in front of him away so he doesn't want to miss behind. That's an interception. And I don't know if he could just get his hands on that one or not.
Max Dean had a great punt early on in the game after the first offensive drive. Jace Hannigan, the return man for Bryant. This is another high spiraling boomer. It's muffed. Hannigan gets away initially, and Hannigan's going to make something out of nothing. He is steered out of bounds by the long snapper, Central Michigan transfer Grayson Curtis. That was a monster of a punt by the Australian, Max Dean.
Oh, he got that off. And look at your cover guys right down. They're flying down there. The Gunners, they see it. I think they're trying to get the ball, and they should be trying to make a tackle as well. And you can't let them get another 20 yards off that because you have them pinned way back on there. But what a monster kick. Oh, my God.
Ball placed just shy of the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 38 for Bryant at their own 38-yard line. 9-3, New Mexico State early on in quarter 2. And that defensive line up front continues to play well. Some linebackers coming up front as well. Sonny Alpiu was up there. Goki's right there. Obina Okiki, who transferred in from La Tech, a defensive end, as part of that tackle. Second down and 10 for Bryant. 5+ in quarter 2, 9-3. New Mexico State missed an extra point earlier, which is the reason for the 9-3 score. No dice right there, intended for Zahim Kalik, but there are 2 flags in the offensive backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 25. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's Arn Okiki. Danny, do you see this more early on in a season because guys might be trying to do a little too much?
I think so, and I think they're trying to get more time on the field as well. I really don't see much with that, honestly. But they're both there, 2 flags, so 2 people saw it, but I didn't see much there. Okiki may be trying to earn more time out there by saying he's there, I'm the guy, I can make it happen. Coach already believes in him. I think when Coach Morris was at Sam Houston, he recruited Okiki as well, so he's very familiar with the guy.
Said he's known him since he was 18 years old. Stretch handoff to the outside, nowhere to go. Tyler Martinez tackle for loss on the run by Elliott. Martinez is everywhere again tonight.
He really is. He's seen the offensive backfield quite well. He sees what's happening back there. He saw lane. He saw this going away from him, and you'll just been shot right there in the middle of your screen. You see him come right through there. No one pick him up. Go make a tackle.
Martinez playing in his 26th career game as an Aggie. Almost a unanimous choice as a team captain on defense this year. His leadership has been exceptional. Peterson trying to get to the quarterback. Martinez there as well, and the pass is dropped by Elliott. So you had Martinez right there. You had Peterson. Those are 2 guys that 2 years ago, Danny, were a large part of that 10-win squad.
Yeah, and Peterson, Gabe Peterson was right there trying to get off his guy to get to make a sack right there. And Tyler Martinez came screaming up as well. 2 good Aggies to be chasing the quarterback down and putting pressure on there.
Aggie defense trying to make up for the roughing the passer penalty on Okiki. 3rd and a dozen for Bryant. Conservative play call. They run it on 3rd and 12. Back to the original line of scrimmage on forward progress, and that is all. Christensen in on it. Nate Mitchell came screaming up as well from his safety position.
Look at how many Aggies are right there at the ball. Everyone is going downhill. That's what you want from a defense, is like tackle downhill is what coaches tell them. They certainly did there. Have lots of hats to the ball, making big plays.
Bryant standing back right around his own 6-yard line. Caro Glenn, the punter for Bryant. High kick. And this will touch just inside the far sideline and bounce away right around the 25-yard line. 9-3, New Mexico State leads with 8:01 left. First half action, Aggie Memorial Stadium. Aggies trying to start a season with a win in the opener in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 06-07. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Horizon back with you. Let's send it down to Kelly for more on the Aggie wide receiver play.
That's right, we're about to see them back in action here in just a few moments, but what a difference we've seen out of this receiving core during these first 2 quarters alone. Looking back at last year, NMSU's pass offense finished 127th in the nation. Of course, they brought in quarterback Logan Fife to be half the fix, the other half of the fix needing to be depth at the wideout position. Of course, we saw PJ Johnson, who has the Aggies' lone touchdown of the day, producing. They also bring back TJ Pride, in addition to Donovan Falpel, a guy who didn't see a lot of time last year due to dealing with an illness outside of football, but a guy head coach Tony Sanchez is really, really high up on. And 2 more guys I want to touch on who we also mentioned today who are not suited up is going to be TK King out of Wyoming and AJ Williams III out of Mary Hardin Baylor. Both guys who are not in action tonight, but really, really impressive seeing what NMSU can do so far without 2 of potentially its top producers.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kelly. That depth is real right now in that wide receiver room as Fife pulls it and airmails Fapel, who had 3 catches in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think Fapel probably should have had that one. But, jumping on what Kelly had to say, when I talked to Coach Sanchez, one of the first things he said is, I think you'll find we retooled our receiver room and you're going to be impressed. I think I'm impressed. They've got really good receivers, some of which we've already had. Some are coming back. And once we get everyone healthy, that's going to be a very top-notch room.
The receiver right now, bottom side of your screen, is a true freshman. Number 19 in crimson, 6'5", Houston native Brody Malone. Watch for him potentially on this 3rd down play coming up. He has size you can't teach. Fife escapes. Needs to throw it if he wants to get a first down. He's going to run the football, and a late hit. He got bailed out by Bryant. He was nowhere near the first down marker, and Bryant just bailed him out on a late hit.
Adam, I see the maturity with Logan Fife on that broken play right there. He could have easily tried to throw the ball into coverage. Maybe throwing the ball away would be okay. But you'll see that as he's scrambling, eyes downfield. Where's his eyes looking downfield? Who's open? He can try to shove the ball in somewhere. Bad mistakes happen when that goes on. It's like, no, I'm just going to take what I can and call it a day.
Personal foul. Late hit. Out of bounds. Defense. Number 50. 15-yard penalty. And an automatic first down.
Danny, you had the chance to catch up with David Yost this week, the quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator. That's been a relationship that has really been growing and growing well over the course of the last couple of months between those 2 guys.
Yeah, and when I was talking to Coach Yost, I said, so you've been doing this a long time. You are the quarterback whisperer. Did you have to change things up with each one you see? He says you always have to tweak. Each little quarterback has little things they do better than others. After spring ball, coming into fall, they made a few tweaks, but he said he is it. He's the guy. He's it.
Breaking a tackle, Kadarius Callaway makes something out of nothing as he scoots up near the 45-yard line, picks up 3 yards.
When I was talking to Coach Yost to jump on that one more time, he started off with, players win games and coaches win practices. And he had all these coachisms that I was like writing down as fast as I can. I was like, oh, that's a good one. It's true, though. Come practice, that's the coach. He's teaching. He's showing what he wants to have done with his offense. Game time, it's up to you, Logan, you offensive line, and you receivers.
Fife puts Stanley in motion. Passes underneath and caught. Gavin Harris, and now they're going to say incomplete. So he never had full control of it. Passes incomplete, 3rd and 7. David Yost has coached a number of NFL quarterbacks. Brad Smith at Mizzou, Chase Daniel at Mizzou, Blaine Gabbert at Mizzou, Justin Herbert at Oregon, Jordan Love at Utah State. Quarterback whisperer, that's a good phrase when you talk about David Yost, who got his start in the 90s as the quarterback's coach under Gary Pinkel at Toledo. And then went with Gary Pinkel to Missouri for a long, long time on that staff. Fife scanning. He's going to tuck it and run. Does he have a first down? Let's see where they mark it. He stepped out of bounds at the 49-yard line on his side of the field. He's going to be a couple yards shy. Needed 7. He only got 5.
Hey, that was great coverage by Bryant. There was nowhere he could go with the ball, so he had to just eat it and take whatever yards he could and step out of bounds. I really like to see the receiving corps trying to work to get open just a little bit more, give him something to throw to. Hasn't had a lot. I've seen more scrambling than I thought I would from him, but it seems that he scrambles quite well.
Not a good spot to roll the dice if you're Tony Sanchez on 4th and 2 from the 49, especially since the defense has been so good so far. Max Steen trying to pin the Bulldogs deep. How about that pitching wedge?
Yeah.
Max Steen has played a large role in this game. And he followed up the punt with a practice golf swing. That's a pitching wedge. That's a lob wedge from Max Steen out of Australia.
Yeah, got a little, I can't say English, can he, when he's from Australia? But certainly he put the backspin on that. It was not rolling anywhere. It stayed right there. Great kick. Great coverage, too.
His practice golf swing after the punt looked pretty good, too. Nate Mitchell downed it at the 3-yard line. And now the Aggie defense licking their chops near the end zone. Torrey Gathers in at linebacker right now for this Aggie defense. Kenzie Orr takes the handoff for Bryant. Just trying to get some breathing room here for quarterback Brennan Meyer. Kenzie Orr, top running back a year ago, 2 touchdown carries, ran for 4 1/4 a year ago. He's a grad student from Claremore in Oklahoma. So we've seen Elliott, Kenzie Orr, and Robinson, 3 different running backs for Bryant during the course of half one. In case you're just joining us, the Aggies got the football first tonight. They have a touchdown and a field goal and a missed extra point. Timing wasn't there on that route. Doe never turned around. 3rd and 7 for Bryant.
It looked like DK saw that happening, saw that break right there, and he ran into the receiver, but I think he was trying to play through the receiver to the ball looking for a pick, because I think he read that perfectly the whole way.
It's pretty loud in here, too, so Brennan Meyer trying to receive the play calls via helmet as part of that coach-to-player helmet communication, which is now allowed this year at the FCS level. Heavy rush, juggled by Kenzie Orr. Can he escape the end zone?
Man. He
barely got out.
Oh.
Tuitama, the American Samoa native, almost got to the quarterback in the process as well. Great rush by the Aggie D-line.
That's a great idea right there. So you have them on the heels instead of playing back, saying, "Oh, let's just give it to him something close." You put the pressure on. Let's turn it up and let's go get him. And they almost had a safety.
Dangerous punting area for Carroll Glenn. Back of the end zone. He gets it away. Pride around the 40. Will have it bounce out of bounds in front of him. Best field position all day by far coming up for Tracy, California native Logan Fife in this Aggie offense with 4 and change left. Trying to mount a good drive shortly before halftime. You know, Danny, it feels like the offense has been better than 9 points so far, and I know the point after is factored in, but it feels like it's been better than 9 points so far.
It seems like we've gone up and down the field, and we only have 9 points to show for it, and so it feels like there should be more points on the board. I totally agree. One of the areas I'd really like to see us get a little bit better at is trying to break some of those running backs. We got 2 great running backs, and even looking at them out of the backfield, Kadarius was wide open one time out of the backfield. We have to dump it down to him and let him just show us his wheels.
Running back right now is Dijon Stanley. 5 puts Jackson Owens in motion. Play fake, heavy pressure, and this time 5 cannot crawl away. He ducked underneath a defensive lineman earlier. Pass rush there by Michael Otti, a great player at the FCS, preseason all-conference in the CAA, the Coastal Athletic Association.
Hey, that was great pressure by Bryant. You know, we had 3 guys, only 3 guys in the pattern, and we couldn't get out there. We had max protection back, and they still got to Logan Fife.
Tight end Gavin Harris lined up right now at wide receiver left side, and we get a flag on the snap.
Ball start. Offense. Number 8. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Both teams penalized 5 times so far, and that's on the running back, Dijon Stanley. I think he knew it right away.
Yeah.
Well, 55 newcomers, 42 transfers. You're still trying to get things to mesh here in week 1. 3.5 left. Second quarter to action. Fife lost the football. Picked up by tight end Gavin Harris. And he rumbles up near the 50. So this has been a sloppy offensive drive, and the previous drive wasn't great either after things were very consistent for a while.
Right, and if you look at the offensive line, you kind of see them looking around just a little bit. I think they're not sure. I'm not sure if they're all on the same page quite yet, because there's certainly bleeding that's coming through there. Come unavoided right, no one to even touch the quarterback before he gets to the quarterback, I should say. So there's someone just leaking through there.
3rd and 23. Let's see the play call here from David Yost, the offensive coordinator. Callaway, the running back, toss out wide right for Harris, the tight end. He's had a couple of catches in the first half. But New Mexico State not in field goal range, so they're going to have to punt. And that's a tough one, Danny, because they were in great position going into that drive.
I think at halftime, coach is going to remind the offense when they get into that room, we had the ball in plus territory. We should have been putting points on the board, and we can't be going backwards and then punting the ball. That can't happen.
New Mexico State, when the drive began, they were almost in field goal range when the drive started. And now Max Dean will have to punt again. He's had a great first half. And this is another really good one. Sneaks just inside that right pylon. Let's see where they mark it at. It's going to be the 2-yard line. And give a lot of credit as well to Grayson Curtis. He was right there. Number 42 in crimson. Grayson is the long snapper. And it seems like on every single kickoff or punt right now, I mean, he's right around the ball.
You need a good punter to flip the field, and it looks like we have one. Pins him deep again.
Previous drive for Bryant started at the 3. This one will begin at the 2. It was almost a safety on the previous drive. Running back Elijah Elliott next to Brennan Meyer, the sophomore quarterback out of Frisco, with very little breathing room. Right back to the 2-yard line, no gain. Cole Shnetgoki sticking his nose in there.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. Officially 1:55 left in the second quarter. Ball is on the 2 for the Bryant offense after these messages.
Take pride in your work. The things that you make you. White Sands Federal Credit Union has built something to be proud of right here in the Mesilla Valley, helping generations of people at every step of life. Local people making local decisions, paying attention to the details with all the loan and financial support you need. When it comes to our community, come to White Sands Federal Credit Union, your local credit union.
Selby, CEO of American Document Services.
And I'm Rick Jackson, founder of American Document Services.
We're a full records management company. We scan, store, and shred.
And presently we're in the shred room. Brandy, what do you say we jump over to the warehouse?
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're in the warehouse, Dad.
Yes, this is where we store all the documents nice and secure for our customers. Oh, I'm getting a phone call from a customer. Gotta pull the file, gotta go.
Go Aggies! Shred the competition!
For decades, Nusenda Credit Union has been here for you and for our communities. Through Earn Your Return and community rewards, you're earning cash back or supporting programs that will make a difference for generations to come. Whether your dream is big or small, we've got you. Good for you, good for our community.
Today's New Mexico State football game is brought to you by Nusenda Credit Union, Sports Accessories, White Sands Federal Credit Union, and by Memorial Medical Center. The Aggie defense led by second-year defensive coordinator Joe Morris, who came over last year from Sam Houston State. They've had a very good first half, holding this Bryant offense to just 69 total yards. And right now, Bryant has the ball at their own 2-yard line. 2nd and 10. Meyer throws. Christensen was in his face, and it is caught. What a catch.
How the heck did he catch that? That was incredible. Great coverage, lots of pressure on the quarterback. You had to drop that on a dime to him, and he managed to keep his eyes on it and pull it in and make a catch.
34-yard connection to Zaheem Kalik, sophomore out of Snow Hill, Maryland. And now there's plenty of breathing room for the Bryant offense. Elijah Elliott runs the football. And now you're looking at the clock if you're Bryant, because you want to keep the ball for the rest of this first half. You also get the ball to start the second half. 8-yard pickup on that scamper for Elliott. Transfer from FCS Montana State. Some tempo now for Bryant. Roll out left for Meyer. Dump off pass is caught. Upended. Caught right there by Connor Muldoon. And it's another first down for Bryant at midfield.
And I think that last play we had the defense just tricked a little bit.
Stretch handoff to the outside. Elliott smothered right away by Oklahoma State transfer Nick Session. And there's a couple of flags on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the center, Anthony Perez. 5th-year Bryant, 34th career game. Played both tackle and center a year ago.
You can see the hold right in the middle of the screen right there. Had a fistful of jersey and just kind of pulled him, tugged him down. Easy to see for the official.
Before that penalty, there was some pretty good tempo going on for Bryant on offense, and we haven't been able to see that very much here today. Both teams penalized a lot. 11 combined penalties in this first half of play. Meyer finally gets rid of it. Elliott hammered by Tyler Martinez.
I think Tyler saw that play all day long, that nothing was happening right there. He was staying in coverage. He was spying anyone leaking, coming out of the backfield. You'll see the running back step right through the middle there. That's Tyler's guy. And as soon as he delivers the ball, Tyler's all over.
30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 59 seconds.
Now these two head coaches have to navigate with timeouts, right? Because there is some time left. If you're Tony Sanchez, you could still get the football back and create some points. Right now it's a 9-3 lead. New Mexico State had a really good finish to that first quarter on offense. A little stagnant, a little stale here in quarter two. They've outscored Bryant 3-0 in this quarter. Danny, it's not going to be perfect on opening night. New quarterback, pretty much an entirely new offensive line, an entirely new running back room for the most part. We haven't seen Isaiah Ruddison, so the two guys we've seen, Callaway and Stanley, are both new. Wide receiver room has some returners, but there's a lot of newness, and this takes some time.
It certainly does. Offensively, I talked about one of the keys is the offensive line, all new guys. You have to come together and you have to go back to the basics and what's my job? Do your job, and then everything else will take care of itself. But there is some newness to it. That's some of it, and you just got to get the rust off, and this is it's real. You're no longer just scrimmaging against your own team. This is like real time. Let's get after it.
Tony Sanchez with 2 timeouts left. Chris Merritt, the 7th-year Bryant head coach, has a pair left as well. Meyer throws on 2nd down. Big hit. Josiah Charles lays the lumber on Tristan Riley, who hangs on. Riley's had a great first half. That is his 3rd catch already. Somehow he was able to hang on as he was blasted by Charles.
These receivers have been, we've been all over them and popping them, and they're still pulling it down there. Josiah, nice.
Please reset the game clock to 49 seconds.
That's his guy all day long, and he came screaming up to shut that down. No extra yards on it. You can see it right here. As soon as he delivers the ball, Josiah's already breaking on the ball and delivers a blow.
Thank you.
Surprised Riley didn't fumble after catching whenever Charles got to him. Tony Sanchez only has 1 timeout left after he just used one again. I'll tell you what, if you can hold here on 3rd down, if you get the football back, Logan Fife can move quickly. He can engineer a drive where you get some points to end the half. Ryan Hawk has a great leg. So we'll see what happens here on 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and 10 for Bryant. They need the 40. 91 passing yards for Bryant, 36 on the ground. New Mexico State 138 through the air, only 13 first half rushing yards. Another conservative play call for Bryant. So they're going to force Tony Sanchez to use his final timeout.
Number 11, Elliott. Timeout, New Mexico State, their 3rd and final of the half. Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds.
So now Bryant will punt, and you're going to get the ball back right around the 40-second mark to try to go potentially the entire field with no timeouts. So you never know, but...
You don't. If we look at Donovan Papal had a 54-yard catch earlier, so that can happen. More importantly is that when you get the ball and you're going to make a run at that you don't turn it over when you're deep in your own territory. And you just take it down there, manage the clock. You have to be a good manager. Now, you don't have any timeouts, so you have to know where you're throwing the ball so you don't get caught in the middle of the field and you just run out of time.
And Bryant's going to bring their offense out there. On 4th and 6, New Mexico State does not have a timeout left. Interesting. Doe in motion. And now Bryant will use the timeout. I thought maybe they would try to bring the play clock down to a couple.
30 seconds.
Well, they have timeouts to play with.
Right.
Chris Merritt, a veteran, 7th year as the head coach at Bryant. Former player at Indiana, he was a free safety for the Hoosiers from 1988 through 1992. So the 2 head coaches here tonight, both players at the FBS level. Tony Sanchez right there, played right here at New Mexico State. One of just 15 FBS head coaches to be the head coach at their alma mater. Quite the distinction. And now Bryant will punt. .45 seconds left here in the second quarter. Caroglan gets it away. Pride calls for a fair catch at the 10. All right, well, here we go. 39 seconds left. How quick can Logan Fife operate? We're about to watch it. No timeouts. But these are situations, Danny, that you're working on the last month in camp.
You certainly are. And Logan has been around, and he understands where you are on the field, meaning what's the clock, how many yards do we got to get for the first down, where do I need to put the ball. If I miss, I don't want to miss anything short, because that means that there's a chance for a pick. So he's a smart player.
Ball marked at the 10. By the way, the career long for Ryan Hawk, the kicker, is 51 yards. Made a 43-yarder earlier tonight. Aggies play it conservative with no timeouts left, and they run it with Callaway. Well, the key here is don't make a mistake. I mean, you don't want to give Bryant any chance to get points. Can't stop the clock. And I think Tony Sanchez is telling Logan Fife, don't snap the football. 39 seconds when you're trying to go the length of the field with no timeouts. That's a lot to ask. And Tony Sanchez will take a 9-3 lead into the locker room. It was a good first quarter. New Mexico State really moved the ball well in the first quarter. They lead 9-3 at halftime. Halftime activities in the season opener from Aggie Memorial coming your way next. First ever matchup between the Aggies and the Bryant Bulldogs. 9-3 is our halftime score. More to come at halftime after this. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Horizon back with you here at halftime. Lindsay Labarine is the Executive VP for White Sands Federal Credit Union, and she's standing by on the field with Kelly.
Lindsay, credit unions are known for being pretty community-driven. How does New Mexico State and White Sands partnership further that?
You know, we really pride ourselves in being the only truly local credit union, and being a part of New Mexico State's athletics and all the other things that we sponsor is just a big piece of that. And that and all the other things that we do in the community just show why we are local and why we are a credit union.
Little Aggies Youth Club, what is that and what is White Sands' involvement?
So the Little Aggies program was just something new that we've created between NMSU and White Sands Federal Credit Union. It's a way for young individuals to have some education regarding financial literacy, but also get some free giveaways from NMSU and White Sands, as well as to have some access to some free games and lots of other things like our Money Mammals program.
These are already plans put into place. What are some plans that are just starting to get just kind of the woodworks down that you're looking forward to for the future?
So actually, we just announced that we're in the process of building a new branch here in Las Cruces. We are opening a branch late 2026 on the corner of University and Telshore, and we are very excited to have that new branch and be able to further serve our members of Las Cruces, the NMSU as a whole, as well as the city.
Lindsay, thank you for taking the time. Adam.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you to Lindsay Labarine, the Executive Vice President for one of our great partners, White Sands Federal Credit Union. More to come at halftime after these messages. First half highlights presented by Memorial Medical Center, the official healthcare partner of the Aggies. The Aggie offense, Danny, got off to a good start. That first quarter was efficient. This was a heck of a throw by Logan Five to P.J. Johnson. Logan threw for 132 in that first quarter. What did you like about Logan's play in that opening quarter?
His composure, there's no doubt about it. If you look him back there, great ball, nice spin on that, lots of composure in that first quarter. I like that.
2 first-half catches for Johnson, including that touchdown catch, his 4th career touchdown catch. Great first half by the Aggie defense. They held Bryant to 131 of total offense, Danny. And Jamal Thompson Jr., the Samford transfer, played a huge role.
He did. He's up there. Tyler Martinez, they're swarming. You see him right there. Jamal all over it. Almost got his safety really close there. Great pressure on the defense. They need to do that again this second half.
5 tackles in that first half for Thompson, 2 tackles for loss. He also had a sack. Played a great first half in his first game as an Aggie. Halftime continues. 9-3 Aggies here at the half in the season opener. First of 2 straight home games to kick off 2025 for Aggie football, trying to start 1-0 for a second straight year. Halftime continues from Aggie Memorial. P.J. Johnson had a touchdown catch from Logan Fife. Ryan Hawk had a 41-yard field goal. That was the offense for New Mexico State in the first half. Adam Young, Danny Nee back with you. Danny, in that first quarter, early on quarter two, we liked what we saw with the Aggie offense. How do they rekindle that here early on third quarter?
Well, I think we have to go back and look at really what happened in that first quarter. I think our offensive line really started picking up their blocks, and that allowed more time for Logan to look at the field, spread the ball around, and it opened up big holes. We have to go back and find that. Don't panic. Just go back and find that blocking scheme.
Great first half of the Aggie defense. Bryant will start with the football offensively in quarter number 3 coming up. First half stats presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. So neither team really got the running game going, especially New Mexico State. Logan Fife threw for 138, but Danny, 132 came in the first quarter, so he only throws for 6 yards in quarter 2.
Yeah, I think in the second quarter they started putting a little more pressure on him, and he wasn't able to get out and throw the ball and move it around a little bit. And so most of those are first quarter yards. So back to what do we need to look at? Look at the offensive line. Let's try to push the ball a little bit more on the rushing side of things.
Ryan Hawk will kick off for New Mexico State to start half number 2. And once again, it's a touchback. Kelly Horizon had the chance to catch up with Tony Sanchez during halftime. Kelly, what did he find out?
Yeah, talking to Coach Sanchez, he said he feels like his team is just playing an undisciplined type game. Yes, their offense does look quite improved from what we saw last year, but he said it is nothing to write home about just yet. Specifically in the run game, they really need to turn it up from Dejon Stanley as well as Kadarius Callaway. Now, its defense, however, is stealing the show. That line up front, all of those linebackers bring back veteran and experience and skill, highlighted by Tyler Martinez. So that's something they're going to have to make sure that they're keeping consistent here in the second half, as well as provide a more clean offense here in quarter number 3.
Thank you, Kelly. Pass and catch. Zaheem Kalik with the catch. Goes for 12 yards. Martinez was great, but we know he's great. Jamal Thompson kind of stole the show on that Aggie defensive line in that first half with his high-level play with the sack and 2 tackles for loss. So look out for number 6 in Crimson, who plays the Jack linebacker spot. Same spot as Gabe Peterson of the Aggie defensive line. Give goes to Elijah Elliott. Churns the legs up past the 40 to the 41. He gains 4. Once again, a transfer from Montana State. Nearly 1,300 career rushing yards at Montana State.
I think that defensive line up front is really holding their own. They're doing quite well on the rushing game. I think that's the passing piece of it that's helping pull the Aggies out just a little bit, like the first play that came out, quick out pattern, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards right there. That's just too much. We're going to have to start tightening up just a little bit on those.
Brennan Meyer, the quarterback, making his 5th career start for Bryant. That is broken up. Nick Session had a great offseason. He breaks up that pass. Second year in the program, transfer from Oklahoma State.
You know, Nick Session, Nate Mitchell, both safety positions coming in. Coach Morris was big on their play, and they've gotten mature, and he's expecting more from them. I'd like to see them more involved in the game. And some of those, too, that the ball's getting away, I'd like to see Nick Sessions get in there and jump up and pick one of those.
Bryant went 3 for 9 on third down in the first 30 minutes. New Mexico State only went 2 for 8, and both conversions came on the same drive. On third down, Meyer trying to throw. He is wrapped up. Sone Alpiu, and it pops loose. Did New Mexico State recover? It's Aggie football. Scooped up by Christensen, forced by Alpiu.
Alpiu, he's the other side of Tyler Martinez. Both those guys returning middle linebackers in there. And let's just see the pressure that he applies right there. See the strip from pulling the arm back. Paul bounces out. We pick it up. Turnovers. You know, Coach Morris was talking about we need turnovers. We didn't have enough last year. First game we get a turnover. Let's go.
On the field, it's a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, New Mexico State.
Danny, Sone Alpiu does not get enough credit. I mean, he has had a great career here. He's kind of steady Eddie, right? I mean, he's a 3-year starter now, 4th year in the program, 31st career game. And that is his third forced fumble in his career.
He was fourth on the team in tackles. He had 55, 4 tackle for loss, interception, 5 breakups, 2 quarterback hurries. He is steady Eddie, and he plays that Mike position in there. And you're right, we probably don't give him enough love. We need to give him a little bit more. That was just great pressure right there.
Under further review.
So they're reviewing this. Chris Merritt talking to the officials. It didn't seem like initially that Christensen really had full control as he was maneuvering out of bounds on the far sideline. It wasn't the smoothest recovery as Christensen was trying to pounce on it. So the officials will check out video review. Tyler Martinez, who plays alongside Sone Alpiu at the linebacker position, told me on Monday at the radio coaches show, he said he doesn't say much, but he lets his play do the talking. He's been so consistent. He's been a part of a lot of wins in this program. And Martinez gets so much credit, deservedly so, but having those two guys back with all the experience they have under their belt, it's only going to make this team better.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And the pressure coming from the defense is really nice, coming in off the into the third quarter. And let's look at it again. Let's see what they're thinking about. As he strips the ball, maybe we didn't have control, and they're saying, well, you got out of bounds, and you didn't really have control of the ball. You see the ball bouncing around there?
The ball was lying inbounds on the sideline. Christensen had his body going out of bounds on the Bryant sideline. We mentioned this earlier in the first half. There is collaborative instant replay review in 2025 in Conference USA. So coordinator of officials Mike Deffey and his staff will oversee all replay reviews, and then they work in coordination with the on-site replay official to make the ruling. Regardless of the final result, it's going to be a good situation for New Mexico State. Now, will they have the ball where it's currently placed at the 30-yard line? We'll find out in a moment.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed. The New Mexico State player was touching the ball while he was out of bounds. Therefore, it'll be 4th down for Bryant at the 30-yard line.
I think that's the right call.
I think it is too, and I think when they were explaining to Coach Sanchez, they're going to look at it, and he kind of just shrugged his shoulders like, well, whatever they show, and there's not much we do about it. It's true. It's a good call because he was both inbounds, out of bounds with it. And it's easy to say, oh, just stay in bounds. It just doesn't work that way when you're at full speed. But like you said, good position, good pressure. This puts him in a good spot.
Either way, Bryant is well behind the sticks, getting ready to punt here. So the Aggies have TJ Pride at his own 35, standing and waiting. And who knows, with a return here for Pride, this could actually turn out to be a better scenario. You never know. Christian Caroglan with the punt to TJ Pride, who backs up, calls for a fair catch, and handles at the 25-yard line. So Bryant got the ball first to start this half. The Aggie defense just continues to do their job. We knew this could be a really big year under second-year defensive coordinator Joe Morris. Part of it, too, Danny, is guys like Alpiu and Martinez and those guys who have been in this program for a couple of years. They know the terminology better. They don't have to think as much. They can just play now in year 2 under Joe.
Yeah, I really enjoyed speaking with Coach Morris. He's a fun guy, and he gets you motivated. And I had to ask him, it's like, hey, Coach, I know you're reading a motivational book. Which book do you have on your shelf? What do I need to think about here? And he was telling me about Pound the Stone is the big one he was going back and rereading. Great talk with him.
Have to check that one out. Gavin Harris, the tight end, was in motion. Rolling right 5. Hooks up with Harris. Tons of breathing room. Into Bryant territory. The transfer from Central Michigan, the former Chippewa, with his 3rd catch of the game.
Sneak him out of the backfield, tight end play. I love it. We have 2 tight ends. You see the one tight end up top there. They go cover him. They leave the other one open. Nice little pitch and catch.
33-yard connection. That pass intercepted, but a flag is down. Intended for Lucas Unger, but a flag is down at the 30. And another flag flies in over in the Bryant sideline area after the play. For now, it's an interception intended for another tight end, Unger.
He really tried to thread that in there. That was really tight and just not enough room in there.
I believe the second flag was on the celebration for Bryant after the interception. It seemed that way over there in the sideline area. Once again, our referee tonight, Brad Carroll. With multiple flags, they're trying to sort things out, and now Tony Sanchez will get an explanation from one of the officials.
There is no foul for defensive holding. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, passing team, number 5. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down for Bryant.
Wow, that is a huge change of events because they pick up the flag for defensive holding. So Tony Sanchez not happy about that. And the unsportsmanlike is on Fapel. If you get 2, you're ejected. That's his first.
Yeah, that's an untimely turnover as well from Logan 5. He tried to thread that one in there a little tight, didn't get a good look at it, but clearly just not enough room to work in there, and they end up getting up a turnover.
Drive stalls out after the big pickup on the 33-yard catch for Harris, and now Bryant takes over again. Just underway, half number 2. That's the first miscue for the Aggie offense today as far as turnovers are concerned. Turnovers were a little bit of an issue a year ago. New Mexico State committed 23. They only forced 10. In fact, a year ago, there were only 3 combined takeaways for the Aggie defense in the first 8 games. That was a talking point, Danny, it seemed like for the first 2 months of the season a year ago, is trying to create turnovers. Second down and 8 for the Bryant Bulldogs. Their offense has had a tough day so far today. Caught by Tristan Riley, and Tyler Martinez wasting no time to get there, but it was Jamal Thompson who was there first.
Did you see how fast Jamal closed on that thing? He saw that quick little pass right out to the flats. He got a big grin because it's like, I read that. He did, and he was just shot out of a cannon. You'll see him come screaming right to the top of your screen, a quick dump right out to the outside. Jamal's already there. He's like, I saw it. I'm all over it there. It was great coverage. Nick Session also out there on it as well.
Nick Session playing well tonight. 3rd and 8 for Bryant. Meyer under pressure again. He can't get by Thompson.
Wow.
The native of Sarasota, Florida, with his 2nd sack of the game.
Boy, he's feeling it. Lots of pressure from everyone up front there, and you just see the quarterback just kind of nowhere to go, and Jamal's just standing right there, gets off his block, makes a great sack right there, pulls both legs together. He's not moving.
He might have been held right before that. He's been all over the quarterback and all over the offensive backfield in general. Pride will try to return it, and has nowhere to go. Creeps up past the 20. They will mark it at the 22-yard line. Well, New Mexico State has had some chances to stretch out their lead. We're early on, quarter 3, season opener. Aggie offense on the field when you come back.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder.
Here's to the unseen late nights, learning curves, and your perseverance. The behind the scenes is where the magic happens. It's where you shape your process and where you don't let anything hold you back. GECU is there to support you through it all with the products and services that you trust, so you can focus on making your own path. Become a member online now at GECU.com.
75 years ago, a foundation was laid, not of brick alone, but of belief that every patient matters. We've grown with our city through generations of hands held, hearts mended, and lives changed. This is Memorial Medical Center, built to serve, driven to heal. Here for 75 years, here for what's next.
Take pride in your work. The things that you make you. White Sands Federal Credit Union has built something to be proud of right here in the Mesilla Valley, helping generations of people at every step of life. Local people making local decisions, paying attention to the details with all the loan and financial support you need. When it comes to our community, come to White Sands Federal Credit Union, your local credit union.
Newcomer Jamal Thompson kind of stealing the show on defense right now. 6 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a pair of sacks. And he was a big part of the previous drive for Joe Morris's defense. Offense back on the field now, Danny. It feels later. It's still very early third quarter. A good drive here, and you provide some separation.
Yeah, we're going to see what Logan's composure is like after throwing an interception. But, yes, I think you have to go back and say, let's establish, maybe run. Let's get back into it and impose our will on the defense.
They do keep it on the ground as Kadarius Callaway pushes the pile for 4. Callaway started his collegiate career at Alabama. Was actually a safety coming out of high school. Was the nation's number 5 safety. Then he went JUCO, East Mississippi Community College. Then he had a great year at Old Dominion. He was at California Berkeley a year ago. He's out of the small town of Philadelphia, Mississippi. Population right around 7,000. And he's proud to be from that small town. He wears number 1 in crimson. He's alongside the quarterback, Logan 5, with Brown in motion. They're going to fake it to Callaway, and 5 had a sling it sidearm looking for Sean Brown. Front side pressure came, pass incomplete.
That tough play right there. There's not much you can do. You're not blocking the end there, and you're going to just option him almost or throw the ball around him. In that case, he just knocked the ball out of the air. Nothing you could do about it. It should be nice to get that run going, though. Break some nice big long ones in there.
4 out wide. One of those is the tight end, Harris. 5 on 3rd and 6. And he had Sean Brown, but it was out of his reach. Right around the 40-yard line. Brown was open. Would have been plenty of length for a first down. And now we're going to see the punter, Max Dean, again. And that consistency and that good pace and tempo that we saw first quarter, early second quarter, we haven't seen in a while for the Aggie offense.
Yeah, that last play, we had the receiver get tangled up with the defender just a little bit, and that kind of threw off the timing just a little. So as he led the receiver, it would look like it was way too much, but actually he got tangled up. But yes, it's just clunky, just a little bit.
Max Dean has had a great game. Hannigan has had a tough game returning punts. Muffed one earlier, juggled that one. But he does handle after the 44-yard boot by Dean. A lot of pressure right now in the Aggie defense. They're back on the field, ahead by 6. Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Horizon back with you. It's been a good night for the Aggie defense. For more on that, let's send it down to Kelly.
Right, we talked about it, how during the first half, the defense just completely stole the show. And well, to open up this third quarter, it is not a different story. We saw them start things out with a 3-and-out. They also tacked on a sack as well. And something that's really working in their favor is going to be its consistency. It enters its second year under defensive coordinator Joe Morris. He returns his entire defensive staff, adding just that much more consistency in every sense of the word. It also helps when you return key guys like we've talked about all night long. Linebacker Tyler Martinez, someone who has earned multiple preseason honors ahead of week 1. He put on a team-high 96 total tackles last season. He also put up a team-high solo and assist tackles as well. That is someone who just helps consistently every single night, every single game week when it comes to its defense. And something that this group is trying to do as a whole is to give up fewer total yards of offense than what we saw last year. Last year, they averaged just under 450 yards. Tonight, on par to go a bit under here so far during this third quarter.
Thank you, Kelly. Big hit right there, Danny, by Burnock. Aya short of the sticks.
Yeah, that was a good job by Burnack coming in there and holding them short. So here they go.
3rd and 1 for Bryant. Running back is the Furman transfer, Grant Robinson. 3 touchdowns in his career at Furman, playing 3 seasons in that program. They fake it to him. Meyer rolling out, and he hooks up with his tight end, who juggles the football and then hangs on. Levi Wilkins, his second catch here tonight, the senior out of Beechwood in New Jersey. Big conversion on 3rd and 1.
You know, that was a great call right there. So you come out there and you're almost like a run-pass option on the end, and it just leaves, you have nothing you can do. Look at your bottom of your screen here. If that defender goes up to the quarterback, he'll throw the ball. If he stays back, he'll just continue to run the ball. And we were out of position, and that was just an easy first down.
The catch for Wilkins goes for 20. Ball at the 41. Back to Robinson, nowhere to go. Ezra Christensen, he's making an impact in game 1 as an Aggie. 17 games the previous 2 years at Fresno State for Christensen, who's out of San Diego. That run goes for nothing for Bryant. Running game hasn't been great for either team today. Both teams shy of 35 yards on the ground. Bryant with 34, New Mexico State with 22. Brennan Meyer, 13 of 19 for 128 through the air. No mistakes, though. No turnovers so far for Bryant. Meyer under pressure from Christensen. That was almost picked off by Quincy Davis. It was underthrown. Davis was trying to stretch back and grab it, Danny.
Yeah, it's usually the underthrown balls that will get picked. Quincy is a little, he's lucky just a bit because there was an offensive player behind him. So if that ball gets up a little bit more, that's a touchdown. Those scrambles, when the quarterback starts to scramble, you got to get deep. You'll see it on the top of your screen there. You have to be deep. You can't let anyone deeper than you. In that case, we lucked out just a bit.
Bryant is not in field goal range. Ball is at the 40. Handed off to Kedzior. Breaks out of a tackle, and he barrels forward for the first down with a second effort. He was wrapped up a couple yards shy of the first down initially, but he goes extra for 11 in the first down.
So that's a safety. Nate Mitchell coming in to secure the tackle right there, and that would have been short for the first down, but he could not hang on and push through there and got the first down. Got to get a good, secure tackle.
Kadzior, a big back, 6', 217 grad student. Meyer spinning around, under pressure, Okiki right there. And that is underthrown heavily, intended for Riley, just over the outstretched arms of the linebacker, Sonny Alpiu as well.
You know, when he's scrambling like that, Adam, I keep thinking one of these plays he's going to be scrambling around and he's just throwing the ball up there, that we should be able to get a pick and do something with it. But you have to also remember when they're scrambling, if you're one of the safeties or someone in the back secondary, you have to back up and don't let anyone get deeper than you, because that's when a big play happens.
No takeaways yet for the Aggie defense, but you get the feeling that one is coming. Meyer underneath, low throw, Is it caught or is it incomplete? It's incomplete. It was a low throw and it skips to Riley. 3rd and 10 coming up.
You know, last time we had a situation like this, we got to where they spread us out really thin, and you ended up having 4 good rushers, and then you ran them deep, and you ended up a big cushion in there where he had a scrambling quarterback. Let's see if they go back to something like that.
Bryant scrimmages from the 30. They need the 20. Meyer will tuck it and run. Meyer is tripped up by Burnock Aya. Let's see where they mark it. And right now it looks like it's enough for the first down. He ran for 11. He can run better than he gets credit for.
It's the same situation we saw in the first half where you end up in a position where you have a big push up front. So let's look at our push up front. You see 4 guys in the backfield and pushing them out of the backfield, but you have everyone else running deep routes, and it leaves the middle wide open. He can either throw the ball or run it himself for the first down, which he did choose to run and get the first.
Kenzior running up the middle. The Aggies just checked in Zayden Davis at linebacker. He's a true freshman, local product. Played locally at Centennial High School, and now Davis goes off as Torrey Gathers comes back in. Ball is at the 16 for Bryant. A touchdown here would tie the game with a point after, potentially giving them a lead. Kenzior runs it. Creeps down to the 13. He gets 3. 3rd down and short coming up for Bryant.
And you know what's happening also, Adam? When you have a drive like this, even if you hold them to 3, it's wearing the clock down, right? So it's 9-3. They have a long sustained drive. The clock is getting milked. You have 4:38, 6 something in the 3rd, and the more time they take off, it feels like the pressure's more for the Aggies to try to do more, and sometimes that makes you have problems as well.
Give is to Kenzior. He's trying to angle to the outside, had to cut it back up inside, and he is going to be barely short of the yardage needed. He finds a way to always get an extra couple. So now decision time for Bryant. 4th and probably less than a yard here. Player down for New Mexico State. Danny, I'm still waiting for a number. It looks like Cole Schnetgoki, but I was waiting for a spin around. Yeah, it's Cole. Suffered an injury last year in week 2, hopefully just cramping for Schnetgoki. We'll step aside. 4th down coming up for Bryant.
I hear you car for all kinds of cars.
At Jiffy Lube, we car for millions of cars a year.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Will you car for my car?
We'll car for it like we car for our own.
What about red velvet?
Oh, she'll be carred for in a jiffy.
Car for some carne asada?
Cute. At Jiffy Lube, whatever your car, wherever you are, we'll car for you.
Jiffy Lube. Car more.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer.
For decades, Nusenda Credit Union has been here for you and for our communities. Through Earn Your Return and community rewards, you're earning cash back or supporting programs that will make a difference for generations to come. Whether your dream is big or small, we've got you. Good for you, good for our community.
Fourth down coming up for Bryant. Good news on Cole Shinetkoki. It looks like he is okay. He just popped out of the medical tent. He was trying to go back in the game, but he's going to sit out for a play. But he is okay. Give the thumbs up towards some family in the stands. Fourth down for Bryant. Big play in the game. Late in the third quarter. They need the 10-yard line. Hand off to Robinson. It doesn't look like he got it. New Mexico State's defense makes another stop.
That's a great stand right there. And that starts with the push up front, right? So you get a big defensive line push on there. That really makes the difference. And you have to have backers come in there and fill the gaps and just make a great stop all the way around. Let's look at that front line in there and let's see if they get a big push. They're pushing everyone back. Nothing happening. Great stop.
Danny, we talked about this last year during the season opener when Southeast Missouri State went for it on fourth down offensively a couple of times. If you're an FCS playing an FBS, why not go for it, right? I mean, if you're Chris Merritt, that's probably an easy decision.
Right. There's Coach Morse right there. That's a great defense call by him. Really enjoyed speaking with him. He's a great guy. He likes this defense. He's like, these are my guys. I got to pick these guys this time, and so I really like them.
Aggies will scrimmage from their own 11, trying to establish the run. Bouncing outside is Dijon Stanley, the best run for New Mexico State so far tonight. Before that run, they only had 22 yards on the ground, but there is a penalty flag down right around the 15.
Holding. Defense, number 92. That penalty is 10 yards from the end of the run. An automatic first down.
That is our Nathan LaPlante, junior out of Taunton, Massachusetts, on the D-line for Bryant.
So let's get the corner. So we want to establish a run. How do you do that? You block everyone down. You give him the edge and let him show you his speed. And there it is right there. Gets the corner and just turns it on.
Donovan Fappel in motion. Had 3 catches in the first quarter. Fife will sling it near side. That's the freshman. True freshman out of Houston. You're going to hear that name a lot collegiately. Brody Malone hauls in the pass from Fife. 8-yard pickup.
Look how tall he is. I don't mean to step on you there. Look how tall he is. He is all of 6'5". When you talked earlier, when you called one day, it's like, hey, we got this guy. He's a dude, man, at 6'5". He's a freshman coming in here. He is going to make a difference.
Had offers from Arizona State, SMU, UNLV, among others. Pushing the pile is Dijon Stanley. Some tough yards during this drive for Stanley. 7-yard scamper there for the transfer from Utah. And that's good enough for a first down.
Timeout on the field for an offensive injury.
Well, we got another guy down, but I do have to say that I really like that we're establishing the run. We're going back there saying, look, we've got 2 premier backs that Coach Cobb, we're going to talk about Coach Cobb somewhere along the way. He was really the guy that went out there, and he makes a lot of these great deals on trying to bring people in. He's got the running backs. He likes them. They're both quick. They're both fast. We get a push from that offensive line, and he said these running backs, they will light it up.
That is left tackle Makai Lee. Grad transfer who came in from North Texas, began his collegiate career at Coffeyville Community College, where he was a heralded JUCO transfer. Initially went to Mizzou, North Texas a year ago, and Danny, he is a big piece, and that's an understatement of this almost brand new offensive line. So it's good to see him walking off with a limp but on his own. Only one starting offensive lineman back from last year, but you bring in guys who have experience like Lee, Malik Williams at right tackle. And Williams can shift over. If they need him at left tackle, he can play over there. So let's see what the Aggies do at left tackle with Lee right now on the sideline. John Canova is the new offensive line coach. He's done a really good job with that unit. Looks like Williams will shift to left tackle. He's very versatile. Armando Nieves is now the right tackle. And Stanley is smothered right away on this carry. We haven't seen Isaiah Ruddison touch the football yet. He's the third running back. Aggies will likely use him this year in some short yardage situations. It's just been Stanley and Callaway splitting the carries.
Yeah, Isaiah had a very good fall camp. We saw him all over the place, and so we just haven't run the ball enough to spread it around a little bit. And still, when you get offensive linemen that you're moving around, one's hurt, you're shifting them from one side to the other, it makes it hard to stay up with who's up front getting blocked.
3 receivers top side. Pride, Fappel, and the freshman Malone. Running back Callaway. 5 throws to a wide open receiver, and he couldn't connect with TJ Pride. And Pride very easily could have taken that one to the house.
He missed him. That was one that we'll need. But Logan had pressure coming. Lots of guys in there had a back, pick someone up at the last second, and he had to just kind of get the ball out of his hand faster than he wanted, and it was just a little bit out of his reach.
5 was 7 for 10 in the first quarter for 132. Now he's 11 of 23 for 179 for the game. Much quieter since that opening quarter. Looking for a strong finish. Trying to start that right here. If he can get the ball away, he cannot. And New Mexico State will have to punt.
You know, Bryant has really changed it up, and they're putting more pressure on Logan, and they're not letting Logan sit back there and be comfortable, because when he is comfortable, he was completing those passes downfield, and now they're putting a lot of pressure on them, which means you end up in man on the backside. We should be able to find some people open.
Hannigan back deep again for Bryant. Max Steen will punt again for New Mexico State. Inside of 2 minutes left in the third quarter. We've been sitting our 9-3 for a long, long time. It was 6-3 after one quarter. And then Ryan Hawk nailed a field goal early on in quarter 2. Since then, it's been 9-3. And Bryant will have poor field position to start again. Well, if you really deep dive and dissect this game, Danny, of course, the offense had a good start. It sputtered since, but overall, you have to be extremely pleased what the defense has done. Right now, they're putting the team on their back and trying to win this football game.
They are, and they're showing great strides. And to go back to earlier comments, yes, in the season starts, the defense usually does better to begin with, and the offense will catch up. But for now, it's the defense making all of the noise.
They still don't have a takeaway, though. New Mexico State with one turnover, interception by 5. No turnovers for the Bryant offense on a screen pass here to Riley. That's his 5th catch. Tops on either side today. He's been in sync with the quarterback, sophomore Brennan Meyer. Gain of 4 on that catch and run. A minute left here in the third quarter. Bryant football playing their first of 2 straight against an FBS this year. We're going to have UMass and Amherst next weekend. This is an FCS program. They're out of the Coastal Athletic Association from Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Timeout on the field for an offensive injury.
That is left guard Wyatt Whalen, junior out of Fort Myers in Florida, who's down right now on the offensive line for Bryant. Danny, you and I mentioned this earlier, and this was something we were talking about off the air. We've been searching for Tyler Martinez, the linebacker who played really well in the first half. Had 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. We haven't seen him so far in half number 2, and I haven't even seen him on the sidelines yet.
Yeah, I looked on the sidelines as well, and I don't see him anywhere. And is that him, as you speak, coming in from the far left over there? He is coming in from over here out of the tunnel to our left. He's walking out. He has a towel over his head, so maybe something happened to him that we didn't. We didn't notice, but it was a good catch that he wasn't there. And as soon as that was happening, and by the way, they made a great stop with everyone stepping up and taking his place, but he does not have his helmet with him.
He is walking okay, so that's a good sign. It doesn't appear to be lower body. Martinez now on the sidelines, but he hasn't played yet in the second half. 3rd and a handful for Bryant. Nowhere to go again. Well, Torrey Gathers, he's one of those linebackers. Somebody has to step up in the absence of Martinez. And the JUCO transfer from Dodge City in Kansas does so.
Yeah, I think so. Torrey moved over and take the wheel position where Tyler was playing, and you can see that he's done quite well in there. He was on the last stop as well. He's holding his ground there. Coaches like him. He's a big, strong guy, and he said that guy is going to be able to help us out this year. So glad to see he's getting some early reps.
This Aggie defense holding Bryant shy of 200 total yards in the first 3 quarters. That's the end of 3. Well, we have ourselves a ball game. We'll go to the 4th. Bryant will punt to start the 4th. We haven't had any scoring since early on in quarter 2 on a 41-yard field goal for Ryan Hawk. A big reason why has been the Aggies smothering defense. Aggies will return a punt to start the 4th when we come back. Second-year defensive coordinator Joe Morris on the left. First-year offensive coordinator veteran David Yost on the right. And Tony Sanchez is blessed, Danny, with 2 outstanding veteran coordinators who have been around the game for a while.
Yeah, he really is, and it helps that that they have coaches that have come back as well. But those guys really have their hands on the pulse, and I think they like the team that they have here. They need a little bit more offense to get it going, but certainly Coach Morse has called a very good game.
This will be the 8th punt for Christian Caroglan, an average of 38 per punt today, a long of 45. TJ Pride back deep again. Bryant hasn't scored since the first quarter. New Mexico State hasn't scored since early on in the second quarter. Pride near his sideline. Never called for a fair catch. And that's where Logan Fife and the Aggie offense will take over. Right around the 40-yard line. It's a pretty good field position again, but it really hasn't mattered. There's been situations where they've been in a great spot and haven't been able to capitalize since early on quarter 2.
And I know the last series, we did get the run going a little bit more, and that helped move the ball down the field, but it was sputter. Part of that is, I think, from an offensive line perspective, they're getting a lot of people breaking through there and causing pressure on Logan, and he's not being able to deliver the ball around.
The Aggies are without 2 starting wide receivers today. A.J. Williams and T.K. King, both unavailable. That did not seem to be an issue, though, in the first quarter when the offense, especially in the passing game, was moving along just fine. Fife on 1st and 10. Sticks it to Kadarius Callaway, who was tripped up. He gets by the defender, Dorian Helm, the strong safety. He could have had a big gainer, but got tripped up initially.
He did. That was a shoestring tackle. It's a good thing he did, or he would have had the edge there.
Starting left tackle, Makai Lee is still out of the game. So Malik Williams at left tackle, Armando Nieves at right tackle. And that pass incomplete, low throw, intended for Donovan Fappel. Fappel had 3 catches for 70 yards in the opening quarter, nothing since. And right now, this Aggie offense, they're searching for.
They are. Puts them in 3rd and long position. And you're going to have to start moving the ball. Certainly you want to establish the run, but as it gets later in the game, you want to move the ball. You're going to find yourself having to throw more.
4 out wide on 3rd and 9. New Mexico State 2 for 10 on a 3rd down today. Fife unleashes. Sean Brown hangs on past midfield. That was a tough catch in traffic for the Greenville, Texas native.
That was one fantastic catch. Again, they're drawing up pressure on Logan. You'll see he had to get rid of the ball. And, man, he delivers a strike. But, man, they put the hit down. Big hit.
18-yard pickup. Brown at his 3rd different school, Texas A&M Commerce, and then Navarro JUCO before joining New Mexico State this year. Fife hooks up with Fappel. We'd love to see that connection again. That was the key connection in that first quarter when Fappel had 70 yards receiving. So 4 catches now for Fappel after only 11 catches in his first 2 years in the program combined. 8 of those 11 came in his first year as a true freshman 2 years ago in that 10-win season. Fife on the play fake. Plants and throws. Fappel again. High grab. Flag comes in right around the 15-yard line after the catch by Fappel.
He was wide open. Again, that was one of the ones where you just have to just take your time and make sure you make a good pass because he was so wide open, it's easy to throw it past him.
There's 2 flags down now. There's also a flag in the offensive backfield. Fife might have taken a shot after the throw. Now, they didn't touch Fife, but there is a flag in the offensive backfield. So 2 flags on the play.
I think Armando may have been caught with a hold.
There are 2 fouls by the defense. Holding. Defense, number 10. That penalty's declined. Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 6. That penalty is 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Hey, we get a little break there. We'll take that.
That slides New Mexico State inside the 10. First and goal coming up from the 8. Need to capitalize on this. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. Running back Callaway, tight end, wing right, Lucas Unger, the transfer from Stanford. In motion behind the quarterback is Johnson. And Callaway, nowhere to go. Azarel Juice, the nickel back, chopped him down right away. New Mexico State has only run for 34 yards today.
I think they just can't get the blocking scheme up front there. That last time BJ, which just looks like he was out of position and his guy kind of slid by. It just doesn't look like they're gelling up front there for the run game.
Tight end this time, wing left, is Gavin Harris, the transfer from Central Michigan. He's been a big part of the passing game today. 5 across the middle, had Fapel, and he sailed it. It was a short drop. He was probably trying to get it higher above the defensive line so it wasn't tipped. But Fapel had a step on the defensive back.
Yeah, that's a great route to run right there in the goal line. As you come back with a little slant across the middle there, defender behind you. You just got to make sure the ball's in front there because behind is trouble.
Third and goal. Callaway motions to Fife's right. Fife will swing it out for him, and Callaway cannot haul it in. Logan had some front side pressure with some arms in front of him, so he was trying to get it around the defensive lineman. And New Mexico State will have to settle for 3. Now this is big because this would make it a 2-possession game. Aggies are looking for the first points of the game since early on quarter 2. Ryan Hawk made a 41-yarder early on in the second quarter to make the score 9-3. 27-yarder to extend the advantage, and Hawk is true. Danny, you would have loved 6, but you'll take 3 to at least make it a 2-possession game and get a little bit of breathing room here with 12:10 left.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think we left some points on the board, but you take what you can and clean it up for next round.
It's been a heck of a night for the Aggie defense. Offense trying to do their part with Logan Fife and company. 12-3 Aggies early on quarter 4.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder.
50 years ago, the Mescalera Pecha tribe introduced the world to a new destination in the Mountain Gods. What began as a small hotel has evolved into New Mexico's premier mountain resort. To all those who have supported our tribe through the years, we thank you and welcome you to celebrate the 50th anniversary with us. Hashlatine Bagotli, Hashlatine Benagotla. Yeah.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer.
41-yard field goal, and now a 27-yard field goal for Ryan Hawk, the newcomer out of Columbus, Ohio, transfer from Valpo. He extends the Aggie lead, makes it a two-possession game, 12-3 with 12:10 left here in the fourth. Along with former Aggie defensive back Danny Nee and Kelly Horizon. Adam Young with you. Vinny Conway is our director. Rito Rodriguez, our producer. Valet Luz Pastrana is our engineer. Jared Woods, Anthony Casals on stats, our entire crew. Good to have you with us here tonight. First of two straight at home for Aggie football. They're going to host Tulsa out of the American next week. Tulsa also played an FCS program tonight. They defeated Abilene Christian 35-7. That's a final. UTEP lost. New Mexico lost in their season openers. If you're an Aggie fan, you always check those scores, right, Danny?
Okay, I might have nudged that one a little bit. Yes, we do. That's what we do.
New Mexico played Michigan. UTEP had Utah State and Bronco Mendenhall's first game at Utah State. But we're focused on this one right now. Early on in the fourth, the Aggies without Tyler Martinez, who has not played in the second half with an apparent injury. So the defense trying to play well without him. Great catch in traffic for Doe. Aldrich Doe, the junior, with his 25th career catch.
It just feels like Nick Session is right there. He is so close. He's making a tackle right away. A half a step, and we're knocking those down, or we have maybe a pick, because there's lots of pressure on the quarterback. These receivers have done quite well. We just need one more half a step in that secondary.
Brennan Meyer, 15 of 24 today. Pulls it and throws it again to Doe. Open field tackle made by Gathers. Mitchell was also there first. Nate Mitchell, I mean, if you blink, you miss him. He comes screaming up in that safety position. He's active at the safety spot in Joe Morris's defense.
Yeah, Nick and Nate, they're just coaches really expecting a lot from them, and you can see why, because they can be a play difference maker. That last play, he did come screaming up, Nate.
Brennan Meyer on 2nd and 8. Play action pass. Doe busy on this drive. He catches, and he has a first down. All the way down to the Aggie 45-yard line. 11-yard pickup. There's been times today when this Bryant offense has had pretty good rhythm. But they only have 3 points to show.
Right. I think that quarterback's getting the ball out really fast, and that's really been problematic for the Aggies. Like that one right there. Oh, we got a knockdown. That's what we need.
Nickelback who can play boundary safety or nickelback. The Aggies had Armon Hale, who had a great camp, is questionable today. And Burnock filling in that nickelback spot where Hale normally would be, and Burnock's played well.
He's showing you those 6'2" hops he has right there. He got up in the air, he saw the ball. Get between the receiver and the quarterback, you have a chance to do that right there.
Aggie offense hasn't allowed a point since the first quarter. We're in the fourth. Kedzie Orr wrapped up right away. Shoestring tackle, Sone Aupiu, the veteran out of Long Beach. Third down coming up after the 2-yard pickup.
You know, the thing about Sone, when he comes in there, he makes a secure tackle. He pulls both legs in there, and there's nothing you could do about it. So it's not like you're going in there for a cleanup. He's going in there saying, I pull both legs, you can't get one more yard, and he didn't. That was a great fill right there by Sone.
This is likely 4-down territory for Bryant. 2-possession game, 10 minutes left. Kind of in no man's land. Running back Kedzie Orr, who always falls forward, never backward. He gets up to the 39.5-yard line, so well short of a first down. But I would assume Bryant's going to keep the offense on the field.
And why not, right?
Ball resting at the 39. They need the 35. So 4th and we'll call it 4 here for Bryant. They're 0 for 1 today on 4th down. The Aggie defense had a huge stop earlier in this half. Big play in the game. Christensen with the rush. Incomplete. Nick Session in coverage, and the Aggie defense turns Bryant over on downs for a second time.
Well, I thought we had a pick there, and it's just as well that he didn't pick it because we got better field position, but we had lots of Aggies going to the ball at the highest point, as you should as the secondary player, and he was just right there, just fingertips away from it.
So New Mexico State will take over at the 39, and now we're entering the juncture of the game, Danny, where you're up 9, under 10 left. Now you really need to run the football a lot, right? And we haven't seen that running game really established yet today. So we're going to see a heavy dose of Callaway, Stanley, and potentially Ruddison here in the 4th down the stretch, trying to finish off a W. Fife will throw, incomplete.
Whoa, he threw that all the way across the field. That's a dangerous throw. So you have to be sure that you're not going to leave that one a little long, or it'll be to the house. In that case, he just didn't quite get it there. That surprised me just a bit. I thought for sure they would run it and establish the run game there, use the clock a little bit, get down in the position to put another score on.
7 carries for Stanley. 8 carries today for Callaway. Handoff goes to Stanley, and he gets a couple past the 40. Especially for Dijon Stanley. Keep in mind, he was at Utah for 2 years, but wasn't used much in the running game, more in the passing game and the return game. So this is the first time in his collegiate career where he's been the main guy at running back. In overtime, we'll see how he handles it. 3rd and 7. 5 to throw, pocket collapsing, and 5 cannot get rid of it. He's dropped. But there is a flag down. I don't see it, but it seems like New Mexico State is motioning there.
Number 1, 10-yard penalty. An automatic first down.
So it looks like the flag was right around the 45. I couldn't see it, but
I couldn't either.
You could tell by body language.
They got a break there. You know, Bryant has determined that if you put a little pressure on Logan, it makes it harder to make some of these passes, and we're not picking up the blitzing backers as well as we should, and it's kind of squeezing that pocket, which is making Logan jump out and try to do something extraordinary. So I think that's something we really got to look at is like, where is the pressure coming from? Who's picking it up?
That gives New Mexico State a first down up to the 48. They're in Bryant territory. Appel in motion. Tight end is Unger. Big hole up the middle there for Stanley. He finds the hole to the 44.5. It's 3.5 yards on that first down run. So Stanley's in double figures now. That was his 10th rush. He's never done this before. He's looked sharp here tonight at times. A long run of 13. He's a little banged up there as he talks to his running backs coach, David Cobb. Callaway replaces him. Aggies also without Tim Gans, one of their veteran running backs. He's unavailable tonight. Gavin Harris, the tight end. Give is to Callaway, who bulldozes his way up. A couple yards shy of the first down marker. 40.5-yard line. So 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, I like that last play call. I think this is more of what I was expecting to see more of the second, third quarter-ish, because you bring big quarterback in, big tight end in. You had Gavin Harris in there. You put him in motion, and you have him blocking back inside, opening up those holes and getting some good yardage.
3rd and 2. Design keeper for Fife. Shimmies through the hole. Logan Fife barrels forward. Well, he weighs in 205. And he finds the first down.
I like it. And it's a keeper all the way. There's nothing about it. There's no read. There's no let's see. It's like, get the ball. We're going straight up the gut. Go get it.
9-yard plunge for the Aggie quarterback out of Tracy, California. Aggie's doing a good job of using Clyke on this drive as well. Fife across the middle. Incomplete, but there is a flag. 2 flags. One in the offensive backfield now as well. We've had a lot of laundry on the field tonight.
It's a
15 combined penalties before this one.
It's a lot of penalties. I think there was a hold in the Bryant secondary on one of them. I think the Aggie receiver was coming out doing a little feet out. Oh, they're waving it. Are they waving still? Or?
There's 2 fouls on the play by the defense. Holding. Defense, number 6. That penalty's declined. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 50. That penalty's 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Wow, that's a big one.
That's
on
a killer.
Maximus Villar, 6th year collegiately, veteran from Miami. And that helps New Mexico State. 10th penalty on Bryant. And there's been a couple times in this half where there's been 2 penalties on a play. Logan Fife, the quarterback. Hand off. Kadarius Callaway bounces to the outside and finds the end zone. Touchdown, New Mexico State.
Hey, yo, that's what I was looking for early on. I wanted to see their wheels. I wanted to get them out in the open and let the horses run. That was a great job right there. Nice blocking up front. Has a little counterplay action feel to it where everyone is moving right, and you cut back left a little bit, get the corner, and it's off to the races.
Danny, he's a versatile running back. He can bulldoze you, but he can also have the wheels to bounce to the outside.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there, and we're going to need that next week against Tulsa. That's a great block at the point of attack at the top of the screen there. Kick out that one block and off to the races.
Native of the small town of Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 12 players in the huddle. 5-yard penalty. Still a track.
Well, New Mexico State was about to go for 2, and now they're going to have to alter their plans and just kick a point after. This is the kind of stuff you see in week 1. You clean it up, you get better going forward. No excuses if you're Tony Sanchez right there, but that's stuff that will get fixed and corrected after week 1 for sure.
Yeah, Coach Sanchez is not looking happy about that.
Ryan Hawk had an extra point blocked earlier in the game, but he's also made 2 field goals. He's had a good day. And he knocks this one through. Well, I talked to Kadarius Callaway during the offseason. I said, Seaway, that's his nickname. I said, Seaway, I heard you can run 21 miles per hour. He said, no, bro, I can run 22 miles per hour. And he flashed his wheels, bouncing to the edge right there. 22 miles per hour. Think about a car driving 22 miles per hour, and the man they call Seaway just hovering alongside.
And you know, the other thing is, when I was talking to Coach Cobb about these running backs, both Dijon and Kadarius, he said, you know what, they can catch as well. And I think we need to start thinking about that as well, because once these guys start getting those wheels and showing them, you have to respect them a little bit. And it's like, put them in a pattern, throwing the ball as well. A lot of tools do we have to figure out how to put them all together to clean up these mistakes this week, which we'll have to for next week.
Successful drive. You use clock. You get the running game going. Those were 2 things you wanted to do right there. You needed to find a way to get the running game going again, and also use some clock, and they did that during that drive game.
Yeah, that was a nice drive right there.
The Aggies were going to try to go for 2, but instead settled for the extra point after the illegal substitution penalty.
You know, when I was talking to Coach Yost, and I was sharing this with you, one of his stats and other coachisms that he came up with, he said, you know, if you get a first down, 1 first down in a drive, you have a 64% chance of putting points on the board. If you get 2 first downs per drive, you have an 80% chance of putting points on the board. If you get 3 first downs in a drive, you have 89% probability of putting points on the board. So I'll have to go back and start looking at, well, how many drives did we have? 3. This last one was a good drive. It certainly was up in the 89% percentile of putting points on the board. And so those are one of the other measuring sticks that he uses with his guys.
6:20 left here in the fourth. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Horizon with you. Glad you're with us here on opening night. New Mexico State took a 6-3 lead into the second quarter, a 9-3 lead into halftime, and nothing happened in the third. Neither team scored, and now New Mexico State has outscored Bryant 10-0 in the fourth to lead 19-3. Aggies are looking to win the season opener in back-to-back campaigns for the first time since 06-07. Also trying to go to 10-1 in their previous 11 games against an FCS school. If you recall, a year ago, the game against Southeast Missouri came down to the wire. The Aggies had to eke it out to defeat Southeast Missouri. Kickoff by Hawk is a touchback, and we'll send it down to Kelly.
Finally just saw NMSU's run game get going, which is not a surprise considering that's exactly what head coach Tony Sanchez said needed to happen, in addition to what we saw out of NMSU's backfield last season. They led the third best run attack in all of Conference USA and 40th best in the nation. Now, of course, that was led by Seth McCowan and Mike Washington at the time, both guys who don't return to the program this year, but they replaced them nicely with Dejon Stanley and Kadarius Callaway, who you just saw on that play previously. Both of those guys brought in by running backs coach David Cobb, and Cobb knows how to recruit, so much so that he was promoted to GM and assistant coach this off season. I got the chance to catch up with him earlier this evening, and he said that that promotion helped him just get that much more motivated, that he wants to put something spectacular out there on the field in terms of its run game and get back to a Conference USA title game and a bowl game as well, which is exactly what we saw this program do back in 2023.
Thank you, Kelly. How about a takeaway? Jacoby Campbell with the interception for now, but there is a flag down right around the 40. That's the only thing the Aggie defense hadn't done yet, was get a takeaway. They've done everything else and then some tonight.
You certainly put yourself in a better position for a takeaway if you have good coverage. We had two guys in coverage, so the ball get tipped. You have a traditional tip drill with a defensive secondary, and if it's tipped and you don't come down with the ball, then coach has a little session with you come next week. In that case, Jacoby did grab that ball, hold it down. Hope we get a takeaway. We need takeaways.
Danny, it sounds like you've experienced that.
I have a few of them, and so yes.
All right, there's two flags down again. That's been the common theme in this half, especially for Bryant. Officials continue to sort it out. For right now, it's an interception for Jacoby Campbell, the redshirt freshman out of Florida. DK Hobbs is trying to point the leg straight ahead. This would be huge if New Mexico State can take over and then try to milk the clock here in the final 6:05 and lead the opener with the W.
There's a lot of discussion going on there, isn't there?
Here's Brad Carroll.
There are 2 fouls on the play after the interception. Holding passing team number 79. That penalty is declined. Personal foul. Illegal blindside block for intercepting team number 15. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced, and it'll be first down, New Mexico State.
Well, the big thing there, Danny, is the interception counts. So Campbell has the interception. Quite frankly, all you're trying to do now in the 6:05 is milk clock anyway. So while field position is important, it's not the most important thing during that scenario.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse, right? That could have been a hold or defense pass interference or anything else. And so we get the takeaway. Okay, so you get a blind block, you get a block. You have to watch those things more to clean up. And I think that's what coach is a little irritated about right there. Is like, nah, we did get a turnover, but you're not playing good football, and that's what really matters to him. But you're right. In the end of it, Adam, you get the ball. You're at the the 30-plus yard line, and with some time on the clock still.
We're going to use the big boys here. A couple of tight ends in. Running back is Stanley. will hand it off to Dijon Stanley, who slips away from the initial defender. Up to the 35-yard line, 2-yard pickup for Stanley. So the rushing total now for New Mexico State, 71. They're just a shade below 3 yards per carry. To build off what Kelly was talking about earlier, I mean, David Cobb is a rising star in the coaching profession. He's done a really good job in that running back room. But folks have to remember, there's 5 running backs from this program from the previous 2 years currently playing in the SEC. So they've had to turn it over quickly each and every year, going back to last year.
You know, and just to follow on that just a bit, is when I talked to Coach Cobb, he said, you know, I think I'm a good talent evaluator. I can get out there and I can look at talent and see what we need after speaking with the coaches, and it can evaluate the talent and try to get the right players in the right position. He's out there really pulling these 55 players together. He's out there hustling. He's got a big job, and he likes it.
And the players really, really like playing for David Cobb. He played collegiately in Minnesota, played in the NFL. Has a great playing pedigree. 5's pass is incomplete. It was in between 2 receivers over there. P.J. Johnson was around it. So was the tight end, Lucas Unger. Fourth down coming up for New Mexico State, so they will have to punt. Max Dean today, he's had a good day. 6 punts, 47 yards per boot. You know, Danny, I feel like David Cobb has the most titles of any FBS coach around the country. He's the running backs coach, but he's also the assistant head coach and the GM of the program. Dean's punt to Hannigan. Hannigan's had some issues today. He's muffed a couple. He's also juggled one. And fortunately for him, he does gather right around the 20-yard line. So he's muffed a couple. And Bryant will have it with 4:31 left.
You know, trying to clean up offense this last series that we had, and I think the reason that Coach looks so not furious, but a little upset because he feels like we're still not playing at the level that he would expect. Certainly with 8 penalties, but there's little simple things in blocking schemes and others that we're missing up front that need to be cleaned up. And you have to push your team to get better each week.
Play action fake. Myers slings it. Doe comes back to it. That is his 5th catch today, matching Riley for team high honors. That catch goes for 12. The nice thing about this, Danny, is you finally have tape against somebody else. I mean, for a month you were playing against each other. You didn't have a great feel for either side likely because some days the defense would win it, other days the offense would win it. Now you have tape against somebody else, and you can dissect this tape and try to get better for Toulston next week.
Right, no doubt. And defensively, they've come out and thrown the ball twice where we're just not there in position. So the other important thing is, yes, you're doing some good things. Yes, we're going to start subbing. We're going to do others. Other players are going to get more time. You still are expected to make stops and not allow Bryant to come down the field to put points on the board. And so those things all have to be cleaned up as well.
Brennan Meyer has thrown for 173 today, 19 of 31. Pocket collapsing on him. Just a quick dump off trying to get rid of it. Incomplete. DK Hobbs was right around the play. Taiyu was in there getting to the quarterback. We can't say enough about the job the coaching staff did, the job that Joe Morris did, and the job that Coach Enna did as well in the defensive line of reconfiguring the D-line because there were numerous starters that left for P4 roles after spring ball, and they had to reconfigure everything, and it's on full display right now. They've done a really good job. Flag in the offensive backfield. Pass is caught by the running back, Elijah Elliott. I mean, Jamal Thompson was not in the discussion, Danny, a couple months ago, but you see what he's done tonight.
You know, talking with Coach Morrison, he was describing Nate and what a great player he has grown to be as he continues to mature, and he just plays so fast.
Offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That I have to agree. So watching Nate now come and close this last play was an example. Watch how fast Nate gets to the ball. So he's got to release off his guy and come up to support, and he comes screaming up, break down, and make a good play, make a tackle, and don't just run by the guy. His speed is great, and he's had a really good game.
Great open field tackle there by Ezra Christensen, who gets to Elijah Elliott. Clock moving with 3 minutes left to go.
Ezra Christensen just looks like a hoss, doesn't he? He just looks like a defensive lineman.
3rd down and 20 for Bryant. Quick dump off. Meyer finds Elliott, and Sone Alpiu gets to him from behind. Now Bryant trailing by 16, so they're going to have to go for it here on 4th down.
Sony had to split a blocker, kind of shimmy through that to come in there and support that, and he was able to do that. He's just a steady player, linebacker there. Not a lot of flash, just gets his job done. He's had a good game.
Bryant will punt. Instead of going for it, down by 16. Now it's 4th and 21, so that's a tough decision there for their head coach, Chris Merritt. And they will punt it away to TJ Pride. Pride telling his teammates to get away for the football, and it's going to be down right around the 40-yard line. We'll go to commercial break. 1:50 left. New Mexico State trying to finish off the victory. $150 left here in the 4th quarter. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Kelly Horizon back with you. New Mexico State leading 19-3, trying to finish off a victory. Looking to win the season opener in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 06-07. Had to survive against SEMO a year ago. Had a heartbreaking Week 2 loss against Liberty last season. Now trying to start 1-0 ahead of a game next week against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. They defeated Abilene Christian 35-7 tonight in their season opener. Galloway, the running back, motions to the left of the quarterback, Logan Fife. Kadarius almost broke free, just shy of the 45-yard line. Nice pickup. He's had a nice fourth quarter, Danny.
Yeah, I thought he was going to break that one so you could clock him and have him on your show again and say, hey, I didn't get you that fast. You're a little slower. Let's have a race, you and I out back. No, he's had a great second half, and I can't wait to also see us throw the ball to some of those guys as well, because Coach Cobb said those guys can catch, both Kadarius and Dijon. Not only are they fast, but can get out of the backfield and make some receptions.
Beautiful sight. New Mexico State going into victory formation here in the season opener. Got off to such a good start. Now, the first drive of the game was a punt. After that, really good offensively in the first quarter. Early on quarter two, offense struggled for a bit before scoring 10 points here in the fourth to survive. 19-3 right now. We cannot say enough about the defense and the job they did during the course of this entire game today. A couple big fourth down stops. Got a big late takeaway from Campbell. Things to correct, of course, Danny, but Tony Sanchez is 1-0.
Hey, that's nothing like starting with a win. And I know that I talked to all the coaches, and the first thing they say is win. I said, what about this stat, that stat? They said, you know what, win, and then we'll worry about the rest. So you're right, Adam. Let's get the win, collect the win, clean up what we need to next week, and let's do better.
Tulsa coming up next week. 19-3 final score here today as New Mexico State improves to 1-0. And they win their season opener in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 06-07. One of the better defensive performances just start to finish, Danny, that we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, there has been some really big bright spots on the defensive side. Even some of the players that we may not have thought, well, this guy's going to be here and we're going to see a lot more of him. We didn't see as much Gabe. Gabe's going to get going. It's really going to help. But we've had other players step up, and that defense, Coach Morse's defense, did one heck of a job tonight.
305 of total offense for New Mexico State. Only 255 today for Bryant. 78 on the ground for New Mexico State. 68 on the ground today for the Bulldogs. A lot of penalties on Bryant. They committed 11. New Mexico State 8. Bryant had some big second half penalties down the stretch. And Kelly's on the field standing by with Tony Sanchez.
That's right, head coach Tony Sanchez here joining me after the win. Coach, the first back-to-back season opener victories for the first in 18 years. What was it about this group that could get that done?
Well, really defense. That was the story of the night. Defense played their tails off all night, had a critical fourth down stop. Just really did a good job of pressuring their quarterback. You know, offense, we moved the ball. We had some, explosive plays. We were pretty sporadic. There's a lot of stuff we're going to have to go in and fix on offense, but love the way the defense played, and our kickers were outstanding.
Talked to you at halftime. You said you need to pick up the run game. Obviously, we saw Kadarius go in the end zone and put up some more points on the board. What did you like out of the adjustments you saw from your team in the second half?
Yeah, it was still hard spreading for a little bit, and then towards that, that beginning of the fourth quarter, we were able to kind of get some momentum, starting to get 4 or 5 yards a chunk. We had a couple big ones, so, you would have liked to see a little bit more explosiveness in the run game. So, again, we got to work on that, but, again, the guys did what they needed to do to get a win tonight.
All right, Coach, thank you for joining me here today. Congratulations, starting off this season, 1-0.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Adam.
Thank you, Kelly. Tony Sanchez starts 1-0 for the second straight year. 1-0 last year after beating SEMO, and now 1-0 this year after defeating Bryant here tonight. Passing game was good early on. Donovan Fapel had a really good first quarter, 3 catches for 70 yards, and we liked what we saw, Danny, as we take a look at the highlights from the game, especially in that first quarter.
Yeah, that first quarter, they're giving Logan a lot of time back there, and when he had time, he threw a pretty ball, pretty hat. B.J. Johnson there with a TD. He just shredded him in the first quarter.
That was a 24-yard touchdown catch for PJ. That was his 4th career touchdown catch, and that got the Aggies started. They did miss the extra point. It was 6-3 after one quarter. And the defense just made play after play, almost a safety right here. Jamal Thompson had one of the better halves of football that you'll see.
And I think even Coach Henson said the defense, they just played lights out. They have lots of guys to the ball, lots of big plays, got a pick tonight. Defense, stand out. Great job.
Late pick from Campbell. Thompson had a couple of tackles for loss and a couple of sacks in the first half alone. Tyler Martinez did not play in half two, but had a whale of a first half.
Tyler Martinez, both linebackers were coming screaming, and they just had some big hits. Tyler was just everywhere in that first half. Didn't see him in the second half, but man, he was fired up, ready to go.
We saw some good plays in the second half from Torrey Gathers and others filling in for Tyler Martinez. Nick Session played well. We saw good plays from Burnock Aya. It was a collective defensive effort.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Secondary is one of the areas I was looking for improvement, and the Nick Sessions, Nate, they were fast.
It was 9-3 after three quarters, and then the fourth, we saw the Aggies make some big plays. Fapel was a big part of it. New Mexico State outscores Bryant 10-0 in the fourth. When they had to make plays down the stretch, Danny, the offense did so.
They did, and part of that is when they had to, they get time, they got some protection for Logan. He was able to make some big throws down the field. Great job throwing the ball by Logan.
17-yard touchdown run for Kadarius Callaway with 6:20 left. That sealed the victory. That made it 19-3. Callaway with a rushing score. He finishes with a team-high 50 yards on the ground on a dozen carries.
Yeah, so you got to start somewhere. So when we start with this first game, you put the flag in and say from here on out, we have to get better. Look at your stats, look at things, clean it up, and we got to get going for next week.
Final stats presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico. Anything jump out right here, Danny?
Well, certainly I see more of the rushing yards coming in there. That's what we like. 302 yards total offense. That's great stop right there. That's great stuff. Like to see that. I think just all around they did a really good job coming back in the second quarter or second half and playing solid football.
Final score 19-3 here tonight as New Mexico State starts off with the win. And Kelly is standing by with start of the game, Donovan Fapel.
Donovan, this was an offense that struggled last year, clearly made strides and bounds to improve this season. What is different about this receiving core and its relationship with its QB1?
I mean, we just came in, Coach Yost, from the start. Really, we just all bought in to new coordinator, pretty much whole new team. Bunch of new receivers, and we all just really bought in. You know, Logan has been with us, working with us. Like, we have been super dialed in, watching film together all camp. Really, like, we just bought in this year. Because, to be honest, it was embarrassing for us last year, you know, like as a receiving corps, as a team. So, like, our goal this year was just to come out and, you know, just prove everything, like, that we know within ourselves, really. You know what I'm saying?
How about for you individually? You're someone who's been in this program since your freshman year, this year marking your third within the program, but you didn't see much time last year due to battling with an illness outside of football. How have you been constantly preparing to make this return, and not just a return, but have quite the presence here for New Mexico State this season?
Honestly, really just manifesting it. You know, like last year sitting at home watching the games, like it was probably one of the lowest times of my life. And like I just manifested, you know, just coming back, being a player that people can count on, being somebody that, you know, like the world knows, you know, and like the job ain't done, it's just beginning, you know? That's all.
This is just the beginning. You'll be here exactly a week from today to take on Tulsa in back-to-back home games to open up the season, and it helps just a little bit, that much more, to open up the season. Want to know, Donovan, thank you. Congratulations on the win, and enjoy the fireworks. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you to Donovan Fapel as well, as New Mexico State wins this one, Danny, 19-3. Like we said earlier, you watch the film now, you dissect it, you correct things. Keep in mind, New Mexico State was down two starters at wide receiver as well. A.J. Williams did not play. T.K. King did not play. Once they get those guys back, the offense could be even smoother. But I think we saw enough here tonight to be excited about what's to come this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think that getting the receiver room kind of retooled, like Coach said, it really showed. Defense, clearly, these are Joe's guys. He said, I love this group. These are my guys. This was his guys, and they did good. Drew the line in the sand is from here on out. We've got to get better each week, but we got a good start at them.
Yeah, we thought the defense had a chance to be really, really good. What they did tonight should have Aggie Nation even more excited about what's to come in 2025. Great night for the Aggie defense. New Mexico State outscores Bryant 10-0 in the fourth, and they hang on and win this one by a final score tonight of 19-3. We'll talk to you next Saturday when New Mexico State takes on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane right here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. For our entire crew, led by our director, Benny Conway, our producer, Rito Rodriguez, engineer, Paolo Estrada, Jared Woods, Anthony Casals, my partner, Danny Meade, Kelly Horizon on our sidelines, Adam Young saying so long from Aggie Memorial Stadium.